On behalf of Superintendent Dr. Jim Rollins, Athletics Director Wade Stellick, Principal Pete Jakes, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this presentation of the Bulldog Sports Network. Hi again, everybody. Zach Arns, the voice of the Bulldogs. Well, joining you from Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. Glad to have you here for tonight's 2017 season opener for our Springdale Bulldogs. In about 30 minutes, they will take on the Conway Wampus Cats, a team that they faced in the opener last year, a 37-30 win by Springdale. Excited to bring in a 2013 graduate of Springdale High School, also a former Red Dog, a Red Dog through and through. His name is Carlos Trevino. Carlos, I'm glad to have you along this year. Excited to get this thing started. Tell me something about being a Red Dog opening night. Tell me how you're feeling. I know you're a little nervous being up here with me, but for these guys down there getting ready to kick off the season, what's it like?
Zach, I'll tell you what. For me, it is a very different feeling. Not used to being up in the press box, used to being down on the field, but it's been a few years for me. Definitely glad to be back around Springdale football. I'm glad to see the way that these teams have come from the years that I've graduated. The teams that I played with, definitely headed in the right direction. I think Coach Clark is, an amazing coach and definitely got us going in the right direction, Zach.
This is Coach Clark's third year here with the Bulldogs, coming off his second consecutive playoff berth. You and I have talked in most of the offseason here about the depth and quality of depth. It's one thing to have 100 guys on your roster. It's another thing to have 100 dudes who can flat play. And that's kind of where Springdale's headed. We're going to get into some of the guys that some of the young guys, but we've got some established names, and we'll start with maybe the guy that's at the top of that list. That's number 93, Arkansas commit Isaiah Nichols.
That dude, yes, sir. He's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with this season, not just in the 7A West, but along the state.
He's as I said, he's an Arkansas commit. And, I've talked to Coach Clark during the week, and he's not just the only guy on that side of the football. Springdale going to bring back 6 returning starters on defense, but maybe where Springdale made the biggest jump from last year is on the offensive side of the football, and that's in the running game. The running game last year almost doubled its production from the 2015 season. And, the guys up front, some of your favorite guys, the big uglies up front, that's Eliu, Fu, Tedaharo. These are guys I know that are close to your heart.
Yes, they are. And I say that because I've been an offensive and defensive lineman for years. So for me, it's good to see returning offensive and defensive linemen, with Fu and some of these other guys coming back. Harrison Vasquez, Jake Harry. It's great to see some of these big guys coming back on the offense and defensive line.
A lot of quality depth, and I know during the scrimmage on Tuesday against Shiloh, we marveled that there were 17 offensive linemen. There's 17 defensive linemen. A lot of young bigs on this Bulldogs team, and we'll talk about that coming up. Right now, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with my conversation with head coach Zack Clark. The Zack Clark Show, sponsored by Catering Unlimited. You're watching the Springdale Bulldogs on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
With no words on it. I got on 2 chains. No, I ain't get it, boy. I'm dream chasing, but I ain't forget it, boy. Yeah, and she say I can get it, boy. This a hit and I'ma make a nigga feel it, boy. My photo range, my sweater saying in my campaign on 10. I like to keep better, but I'm really into her friend. House up in the hill, got it off a coat. A $50 Lamborghini condo off a Hear that yellow tape on the trizzy bass. 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 Hear that yellow bass. Hear that yellow bass. Bass, 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 bass. Hear that yellow tape on the trizzy. Haters of disease. Why they do that?
Welcome back to the Springdale Bulldog pregame show here on the Bulldog Sports Network. Joining us is the head dog, Zack Clark. Coach, appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule to talk with us about the game tonight. First question I want to ask you is, you and I sat here 2 years ago and getting ready for your first game down at Greenwood, and things were, the bullets were flying pretty well and things were going pretty fast, but have things slowed down for you as a head coach going into your third year? You hear players talk about, as they start to learn, things slow down, but does that apply to coaches as well?
Oh, without a question. Without question. It's just, now it's year 3. I'm getting more comfortable, just, been around the staff for a long time. And I think the big deal is the kids. This is the third year that these seniors have been in our program. And, there's a comfort level, there's an appreciation you have, that I have for these seniors, that just because, we've already been through the fire. We played a couple seasons, and I'm looking forward to really enjoying their last year.
You've got a pretty veteran ball club. You've got double-digit starters coming back, and I want to talk a little bit about the defense. And your defense is headlined by Isaiah Nichols, and Isaiah's certainly worthy of all the accolades he's gotten. But you've got some other guys, especially on that defensive line, 3 other guys who are pretty darn good football players, as well as some veterans in the back 7.
Sure do. There's and the enjoyable part about coaching is obviously, you coach a guy like Isaiah Nichols. He's 3-year starter, but there's Harrison Vasquez, who's the other one of our defensive ends. That guy 2 years ago as a sophomore, it didn't look like he was going to play much. And to watch his maturity and his development, obviously Coach Moore's done a great job with him, but that's what's so rewarding about coaching is when you got a guy like Harrison that comes out here, 2 years later, he's a guy now, and he's a guy that we're going to count on. Jace Carey will be a 2-year starter. He's gotten bigger, stronger. He's more confident with a year experience. He'll be a junior. And then, Nathan Burkett's another one of those kids. We can do some things with Dylan Sizemore. He's we may start him out on the defensive line. He looks promising there. In our linebackers, same way. Mason Hutchins is a 3-year starter at Mike linebacker. I think that's really valuable when you're experienced and you're strong up the middle. Trey Tolbert was the sophomore defensive newcomer of the year in our conference. He's back at Sam. And then, another guy, Christian Wise, that really, he played corner last year, and something happened. He went to wrestling. He worked really hard in the offseason. He's bigger, stronger. He's more confident. He's going to start at Will linebacker. So we're excited. That's another kid that it didn't look like was going to play as a junior, and he's come out of nowhere since spring football. Our secondary, Capone Wise, he's going to kind of anchor it, whether it's at corner or free safety. Vaughn Lacey is a returning starter that really has matured a lot. Spot starter at some point. Jawan Boyd was our point guard as a freshman in basketball. He's extremely talented and very competitive. We're excited about him. And then, that fourth guy in the secondary is still kind of up for grabs, whether it's Sebastian Barranco or, Casey Medina or Jermaine Williamson. We've got to solidify that, and that's why we play the non-conference schedule. But, we feel like certainly the pieces are there, and we feel good about our defense.
Let's move to the offensive side of the football, and you as a former quarterback have to love the luxury of having a now 2-year starter and Lane Hutchins at the quarterback spot. Talk to me a little bit about Lane's development from the end of last year, where he broke his leg in the playoff game against Bryant over the fall and over the spring and into the fall.
I just think there's a difference. There's a comfort level that comes from experience, and Lane, and we've kind of talked about how nervous Lane was, and just how he pressed, and going into the first game as a junior, his first game starting, and he's doing a phenomenal job leading, but he's just relaxed. He knows the checks, he knows the offense, he's confident, and it's a lot of fun to go into the year with an experienced quarterback.
You scrimmaged Shiloh last Tuesday, and one of the most impressive things to come out of that were the bigs. Your boys up front, certainly after 2 years in the weight room, you've got some guys up front that can move folks around. Talk to me a little bit about the growth there and some of the guys you like.
Well, it's just it's a culmination of, I think, what Coach Tyner's done, and then what Coach Davis and Coach Webb have done coaching. But this is our best group up front. We still have a ways to go. We've still got, we still got some experience that we have to acquire quickly. But from a physical standpoint, this is by far and away the best of the 3 years. Obviously it starts with Jacob Sissenpoo. He's going to line up at center. He's going to start at center. And Eliu Andrique will be our left guard. And those two guys, it kind of starts with those two. They were started as a sophomore, all 11 games, and they kind of anchor our O-line, and they're going to have to be our bell cows.
Depth is starting to develop a little bit. It was a bit of an issue in year one, not so much in year two, but maybe something we haven't talked about around here in a while is a stable of running backs. You got 4 guys that can carry the mail for you.
We do. We're confident in our running backs and what with a Garrett Vaughn that potentially he could play some on safety, but we're at safety, but he's so valuable to our offense because he's a good running back. Obviously, his vision is unbelievable. He's a tough kid. But the other things that he does, you can put a lot on him. He's very intelligent. He catches the ball well out of the backfield, and he's an outstanding pass protector. So we're obviously he's our first guy, and then you got Jonathan Lopez that has some experience, and he's back, and then two young guys in Darryl Parchman and Larry Calamise, and those guys are, like I said, very talented. We would like to have the luxury to kind of bring them along slowly, but those guys, they will press for playing time because they're talented and they're playing well.
We'll be back to talk about tonight's opponent, Conway, after the break. You're watching the Springdale Bulldog pregame show on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Athletics in Springdale has been producing winners since 1910. Our coaches do a tremendous job connecting our students to our schools. We are one community.
Outstanding customer service, that's the Everett difference.
The best selection you'll find anywhere, that's the Everett difference.
Family owned and operated, that's the Everett difference.
Professionals who put you first, that's the Everett difference.
The best car buying experience I've ever had, that's the Everett difference.
Come see us and discover the Everett difference during Ram Power Days right now at Everett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Fiat.
Catering to the big moments, the little wins, the long talks, and the quick getaways. Because food this inviting is bound to add a lot of flavor to your life.
Introducing the Zack's Pack. Served with chicken fingers, sides, Texas toast, and iced tea. Pick one up for dinner or your next event. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be for you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas. First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be for you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas.
Hello, my name is Pete Jenks, and I'm proud and honored to be the principal at Springdale High School. I want to take this opportunity to be able to address some things that's going on already in our third week of school. First of all, I want to extend our invitation to enjoy this football game that you're going to be watching soon on television. Our students and our teachers do a phenomenal job of bringing this live to you, and it's through their efforts that we're able to give this service to you. So I hope you enjoy it. And always remember, if you're watching this at home or at the ball game or wherever it might be, let's have fun, let's enjoy ourselves and show good sportsmanship. So go Bulldogs, and we hope they do well. Want to let you catch up a little bit on other athletics. Our volleyball team has gotten off to a really good start. They went down to Little Rock for the Spike Fest tournament down there and won their bracket and came in first place in the silver bracket at Little Rock. And we're very proud of them. And tonight, when I tape this, they're going to be taking on Rogers Heritage, and we hope them all the best as well. Our FFA, Future Farmers of America, and our ag classes have started the Washington County Fair. And we've had close to 56 students that did some type of project to display in the fair. And we've had over 150 entries of different projects and displays and stuff, and animals and livestock in the fair. That's the most of any high school in our county. So we're very proud of our FFA students and our agriculture students. And for the third year in a row, our FFA chapter here at Springdale High School was listed as one of the best or the top FFA program for our division in the state. So we're very proud of, thankful to Mr. Burkett and Mr. Rice and Mr. Wright and all those students in our agriculture and FFA programs, and tell them to keep up the good work. As you may have read on billboards throughout the city and stuff, our district has started a new initiative called Springdale Reads. And the idea is to get our students to read as much as possible. And so I was very pleased to see from our librarians, Miss Morgenthaler and Miss Peters, that our students checked out over 1,000 books this past 2 weeks, first 2 weeks of school. So we've had already students jumping on the bandwagon then, and we have a dedicated time during the week, every week, where our students can sit down and read during their advisory classes. So 1,000 books checked out from our library is quite a feat in the first 2 weeks, and we're very proud of that. So we'll be doing these time to time to catch you up on the events going on at Springdale High School, of the wonderful thing our students are doing and the hard work our teachers are putting in, and we hope you enjoy it. So go Dogs, and thank you for watching.
Welcome back to the Springdale Bulldog pregame show here on the Bulldog Sports Network, continuing our conversation with Coach Zack Clark. And Coach, I spent some time this summer down in the, I want to ask you a bigger picture question. I spent some time this summer down in the Central region, got to talk to some 7A coaches down there, and it's been 12 years since the Central has actually jumped up. Now Conway comes out of the Central, and they're feeling pretty confident down there that they've got some teams that can compete with the West. Conway is one of those teams. It's a storied program that kind of had an off year last year. What have you seen out of Conway in your study of them that's sort of made you feel like, you know, this team's back from where they were last year?
Well, you pop the tape on of their scrimmage against Morrilton, and they're much improved. They're a lot better than they were. They were even we have a tape, we have a film from their Bryant game last year, because we played Bryant in the playoffs, and they were a different team in week 9 or 10 than they were in week 1 when we played them. And a lot of the kids, they're a senior-laden team. A lot of those kids were playing late in the year that weren't necessarily playing when we played them. So I think you look at their overall athleticism, you know, their physicality, they might not be as big as some of the Conway teams, you know, 3, 4, 5 years ago, but they certainly run like they have. They're extremely athletic. They're very good. There's not one spot, be it the offensive line or the secondary, their D-line, there's not one spot that's a weak spot for them. They've got a very solid ball club, and I know they're going to be much improved from the team we saw week 1.
You've played them now. This will be 3 years in a row. You've got a pretty good feel for what they do. Talk a little bit about what they do offensively and, you know, some of the things that you can do to counter them a little bit.
They're pretty multiple on, you know, on offense, and they always have been. They do a great job. You're going to get a tight end set. You're going to get a fullback. You're going to get 2 tights, 4 wides. they're going to show you a lot of different formations. And then at the end of the day, they want to be physical, run the ball. I think that's where they're back. They've got 2 or 3 of them. They run the ball extremely hard. They've gotten more creative with, I think in the scrimmage, they popped a guy out on a wheel in the backfield. They do a great job getting their playmakers the ball, especially out in space, and they make you defend every player, every skilled player on the field, and every zone on the field.
37-30 last year in the opener. That was a big contrast from when you played them in the playoffs the year before. When you start looking at them defensively, no, they're not the same team. They had a couple of Division I football players when we played them in 2015. When you look at them now versus what you have, when you look at the offense, you ran the ball successfully. Is that going to be the impetus going in? Is run first, pass second?
I think that's always going to be our goal. Believe it or not, we've got to establish a line of scrimmage. We've got to establish a running game. We ran the ball very effectively against them last year, and that's going to be a key to the game. No doubt. We feel confident in our passing game, but anytime you can run the ball and pick up 5, 6, 7 yards, that's huge. And as an offensive play caller, you can run anything. So I think that battle up front is going to be the key to the game.
First time in your career here at Springdale, you've gotten to open up here at Jarrell Williams. Talk a little bit about that. How's it? What's it like to open up at home?
Well, I don't know. I'll since we haven't done it, but really, it's just not having to coordinate the buses and the pregame meal. We'll do. We have 6 home games, and then the conference schedule is our conference opponents are so close that really the pregame routine is about the same as a home game as any of our even away conference games. So it's nice to get in that routine. I felt like, the past couple of years when we've been on the road, it takes till week 3 to get into your actual routine. So we're looking forward to it, and again, we've got a veteran bunch that I'm excited. They get to open up at home. They get 6 home games this year on the schedule. So we're looking forward to 2017.
Kickoff's coming up. You're watching the Springdale Bulldog pregame show on the Bulldog Sports Network. And we welcome you back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. Want to thank Catering Unlimited for sponsoring the Zack Clark Show. We're grateful to have them along for the 2017 season. Catering Unlimited, sponsor of the Zack Clark Coaches Show. Continuing my conversation with our new color analyst, Carlos Trevino. So happy to have him. The pregame show sponsored by Raising Cane's. Glad to have them as a new sponsor for the pregame show. Thanks for coming along with us here on the 2017 Bulldog season. And Carlos, first games are notoriously tricky for coaches. They're notoriously tricky for players. Let's talk about some keys to the game, and tonight's keys to the game are brought to you by Legacy Bank. Carlos every week will give you 3, 4, 5 keys that he thinks will be important to each and every Bulldog victory. Let's talk. Let's get through the list here. Again, the keys to the game brought to you by Legacy National Bank.
Well, Zach, for starters, it's all going to start up front with the big guys. Establishing that run game up front with the offensive line and stopping that run game on defense. Turnovers, big key. Got to make sure we can, keep control of the ball and on defense create turnovers and converting on third down. That was a big weakness for us last year. As long as we can convert on third down, shouldn't be a problem.
43% conversion rate for the Bulldogs last year. And, you talk about turnovers. Now, Springdale increased their interception number by 11 last year. A lot of that attributed to graduated senior Jaden Minshew, now playing at Dartmouth College. But, we got a bunch of young guys in the back 4, but, boy, that front 7 for Springdale really, really tough, led by, of course, that dude, Isaiah Nichols.
Isaiah's not the only one that I got my eye on this year. I have my eye on Mason Hutchinson. He's the leading returning tackler with 107 for a career so far. Him and Trey Tolbert, 2 linebackers returning off of 2 big seasons, the past couple seasons. So we'll see how this goes for the front 7.
The Thing, as I call Trey Tolbert, because it's like hitting a brick wall. He was the 7A West Newcomer of the Year. Got some guys in the back 4 that you've heard their names maybe. But let's talk about Juwan Boyd. He's a sophomore cornerback. He'll play opposite to your starter, Capone Wise. You may not have heard of Juwan as a football player, but you sure have heard of him as a basketball player. He starts on the basketball team. He has been uber impressive during this preseason.
He definitely has. And watching, the 7-on-7 games along with the scrimmage at Shiloh, he impressed me. And I played with guys who are now playing in colleges like Quay Rose and Chris Owens, who's actually playing basketball at Pitt State. Vaughn Lacey's returning. He should do amazing things in the back, along with Casey Mendia. I see him having another big season this year as well.
Let's go to the opposite side of the football. You've already talked about the bigs. I love Fu, Jacob Sisson-Fu. I love Eliu Enrique. Got to hang out with those guys during the summer. They are strong, and if Springdale's going to be successful, it's going to be running between the guards. New starter at right guard, Marco Machado, a senior. Guy's been around for a little while, but you got Alberto Nava on the outside. Ivan Tinajero, who did not play last year, is going to jump back into the lineup this year. But let's talk about the running backs, because I think maybe for the first time in a long time, Springdale's got a stable of running backs, 4 guys that can run the football.
Those 4 guys, watching them just in the scrimmage alone and some of the practices that I've come out to, hands down, maybe the best running back core that I've seen in a long time here at Springdale. We got Garrett Vaughn returning. 90 yards last year, following the Eric Mendez. I apologize. I could not remember his name.
Eric was 673 on the ground last year. Garrett had 490 rushing to 90 receiving. But now, you couple in, you got J-Lo, who came up about halfway through the season. Now we get 2 young guys.
2 young guys, and Larry and Darrell Parchment.
This is Larry Calamise, and this is a thunder and lightning kind of scenario here. Larry's the thunder, Darrell's the lightning.
I agree. I think just about everybody who has Facebook has seen the video, right here at Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium, that Darrell put on a show at the 7-on-7 this summer, just juking a guy out, coming out of the backfield. I'm expecting him to do big things. J-Lo as well, and Larry is what we used to call a little butterball. Little short, stocky running back, power yards. You need those 2 yards, Larry's your guy.
Tonight's captains for Springdale, Mason Hutchins, 35. Big Isaiah Nichols, that dude, 93. Got Alex Thompson, number 19, and Lane Hutchins, the quarterback. Those are Springdale's captains tonight. By the way, let's get to the weather tonight. It's gorgeous here in Northwest Arkansas. Partly cloudy today. Game time temperature, 74 degrees. We may dip down into the high 50s. We do have a north wind, 5 to 10 miles an hour, but otherwise, if you look at the flags on each end of the end zone, barely blowing. It is a gorgeous night. Good September 1st night for Springdale, Arkansas. Weather report brought to you by Best Sports. We're getting ready for the coin toss. We'll see. I imagine Coach Clark, being an offensive guy, he's going to want the football, but if you look at the way his team is sort of set up, his strength may be on defense.
I think it will be. When I used to play, we used to go defense first. That was Coach Pat's always go-to. But I think this year, it could be a toss-up. We could start some games we win, going offense first, defense first. Just kind of depends on, who we're playing. I think tonight, defense is definitely going to need to set the tone against Conway.
So as the captains head out for the coin toss, I got to be honest, this is our 3rd year here on the Bulldog Sports Network. We had Seth directing, and we've got a whole new crew here. We got Maverick and Goose upstairs. We got Merlin in the production booth. We're just happy to have you along here on a Friday night, the Bulldog Sports Network. Again, the coin toss is brought to you by Legacy National Bank. Glad to have them as the sponsor of the coin toss, as well as tonight's starting lineups, which we'll bring you here very shortly. Again, the captains for Springdale, Mason Hutchins, Isaiah Nichols, Alex Thompson, and Lane Hutchins. So as they're giving them the instructions, let's talk a little bit about the passing game, because Lane last year in this game against Conway down in Central Arkansas, 203 yards, 3 touchdowns. His primary target tonight is probably going to be number 19, Alex Thompson.
I see it being number 19, Alex Thompson, and also number 2, Kamon
Robinson. He's the bell cow on the offense in the passing game.
Kamon, I apologize. I should know your name. I grew up with you
when
and
you're
your
that,
brother.
When you're that good, you just get one name, Kamon.
And you'll probably hear just Kamon all throughout the season.
All season long. We're real good about one names, Kamon. So here we go. We've got the coin toss. The ref's going to give us the. They're going to give us the signal. Looks like Conway won the toss. They're going to get the football first. Springdale will be kicking from left to right. So as we get ready to roll, Springdale's going to go on defense first. We're going to watch them come out of the tunnel. And I think, if you're Coach Clark here, all things considered, you're going to give the football to Conway first. I think he's very content putting his defense out there, letting them take a shot at it.
I do too, and like I said, defense is going to set a tone right off the bat coming out of the gates.
So while we wait for Springdale to come out of the tunnel, Conway comes onto the field. They're coached by Clint Ashcraft. Coach Ashcraft is in his 7th year at Conway, 59-33 overall. Offensively, they run a multiple set. We saw them last year. A little bit of spread, a little bit of power. Their defense is a base 4-3. And again, these teams have met each of the last 2 years, met the first round of the playoffs in 2015. That a 42-7 win by Conway last year. Springdale opened with a 37-30 victory down in Conway. And just for the record, this is the first home opener for Springdale since 2014.
It is. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it is the first one, and it was because of the press box renovation. The Bulldogs come onto the field, led by their captains. So, Carlos, take a deep breath. We're ready to roll.
It's football season.
It is finally football season. I was up at 4:30 this morning because I couldn't sleep. I was so excited to get here today. Got here, got to hang out at the tailgate for a little bit. Got to talk some football with some Red Dog fans. We're getting a good crowd here. People still coming in. The Dog Pound has stretched into the auxiliary stands. That's never a bad thing.
It is not. I remember back when the Dog Pound used to be packed top to bottom back in my years, the years after me. You know, it's good to see them back over there.
So Conway's going to get the football first. We're going to see who's going to come out at quarterback. We're getting some conflicting information here. Andrew Rhea started the game last year against Springdale, threw for 244 yards, but Giovanni Johnson has apparently been very good during Conway's camp, so they expect to see both quarterbacks. Got a stable of running backs for Conway as well. Michael George, Brennan Clark, Kerry McLean have all played last year in this game. So take that breath. Here we go. Springdale's going to kick off. Coming out to do the kicking chores for Springdale, it's number 18, Gerardo Barroso. Dropping back deep for Conway, we've got number 25. And we're going to have to read through their roster. Number 25 is Darnell Washington. Number 2,
Brennan Clark.
Brennan Clark. There we go. So Barroso's got it teed up. The kickoff brought to you by the Varsity Club, connecting after competition. And we are set for the 2017 Springdale Bulldog season. Barroso's got it teed up. Ball's in the air, and we are underway. Ball will bounce at the 11-yard line. Washington fumbles it, picks it up at the 6. There's Jaden Cornelius on the stop, and Springdale's got him backed up back to the 6-yard line.
Looks like special teams is going to be a big factor in that as well. I had that as one of my other keys to the game. And special teams starting out the gate right in the right foot.
So Conway's going to take over deep in their own territory. A 6-yard loss on the return. And the Springdale defense, which has been the anchor most of the preseason, they're going to take they're going to take the field with Conway backed up in their own territory back at the 6-yard line. So here we go, first play of the game. Rhea's the quarterback. And we've got a whistle. We'll see what this is about. Of course, this is the first game for the officials as well.
Putting over in the corner somewhere.
I'm not sure what the conversation is. That's Coach DeBusk in the black pants and the red dress shirt. Looks like they have everything straightened out. Coach Clark got an explanation. And now it looks like we're ready for some football. So here we go, first play of the game. Rhea the quarterback. Springdale shows blitz. That's Christian Wise, 23. We got a kind of it looked like a muff snap. May have hit somebody up front. Rhea's going to keep it, maybe get a yard out of the play. Nathan Burkett on the stop for Springdale.
Good to see the defensive line get back there immediately. Isaiah was back there as soon as the ball moved.
I think we're going to say that a lot
in
2017.
It's good to see Burkett get back there and make that stop.
So to bring up second down, we'll call it 8. Ball sitting at the 7-yard line. Giovanni Johnson is checked in at the quarterback spot. He's a little bit more mobile than Rhea. Christian Wise creeping in, showing blitz. Johnson on the quarterback keep. And he's going to be met. Tolbert, Hutchins. No gain for Giovanni Johnson. Springdale's going to force a 3rd and long. And, you and I talked at the scrimmage last week that Springdale was going to be hard to run on regardless of who you are, but backed up in your own end, I think it's going to get more and more difficult.
I think backed up in your own end, it's almost going to be impossible to run against this front seven for Springdale.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 7, just underway here, first quarter. This is Rhea back in the ballgame. Springdale showing blitz. Here they come. Rhea's pass on the way. It's caught on the far side. It's Nick Richmond with the catch out at the 24-yard line. It's going to be a first down.
Here's number 1, Dewan Boyd on the coverage there. Boyd gave him just a little bit too much slack, but I think he'll definitely pick that up as the game goes on.
So Conway converts their first 3rd down conversion of the ball game. Johnson back in. Looks like we're going to get a rotating system here at the quarterback spot. Get trips to the bottom of the screen. Springdale in a base 4-3. Johnson met by Mason Hutchins, and Isaiah cleans him up. He's going to get a couple out of the play.
Like I said, that front seven was back there immediately, stopped him at the line. He just kind of fell forward for those 2 yards. But I don't think Conway's going to really be able to run him this front seven tonight.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 8. Ball's at the 27-yard line. Rhea back in. You have to hand the ball off to a running back. Rhea. And as I say that, guess who? That dude, Isaiah Nichols with a stop.
Looks like we got a 2-yard loss there by Isaiah Nichols. The flag comes in late.
Ball's going to be spotted at the 26. We'll wait on the flag.
I think it seems every other play, Conway's switching in and out quarterbacks. I don't know if that's going to pay dividends to them or not tonight. We'll wait to see how that's going to work out for them.
It's like a personal foul against Springdale. That's going to give Conway a first down. So it's first down Conway, ball at the 42. Rhea's still the quarterback. Rhea will throw. Springdale gets pressure up the middle. Guess who? That dude. His first sack of 2017. Isaiah Nichols, 93. And that is, I think that's, as we said, that's something we're going to do quite a bit. Isaiah with the sack.
We're going to be saying that dude, Isaiah Nichols, pretty much all game, it seems, with the way he's performing already.
So it'll bring up 2nd and long, 2nd and 17. Ball at the 36-yard line. Rhea still in at the quarterback. You've got the running back. That's Clark. Trips to the bottom of the screen. And we've got a flag down. Looks like a false start against Nick Richmond, the wide receiver down here at the bottom of the screen. That's going to back Conway up. So 5-yard penalty against Conway. Pushes them back to the 31-yard line. I think we're seeing a pattern here from Conway. Johnson the runner, Rhea the thrower. Same formation. You got Rhea in the pistol, Clark behind him. Check that. That's Michael behind him. Rhea to throw. Ball's complete. Back to the original line of scrimmage at the 42. Nick Richmond on the reception.
I didn't realize that they were all the way back down at 2nd and 22 there.
An Isaiah Nichols sack and a penalty will push you back. Now that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10. Conway has converted their only 3rd down conversion of the night. Again, Michael George, the running back, Rhea, the quarterback. Rhea will throw. Blitz on the way. He's going to take it, throw it deep, and it's going to be over the head of the intended receiver. That's number 10, Roman Aaron. It's going to bring up a 4th down. Springdale's defense gets the stop they were looking for, and they're going to get the football back.
He had pressure come in from who else but that dude on the defensive line. You had Capone Wise and Dewan Boyd back there on the coverage.
So Alex Thompson will drop back to receive the punt. In to kick for Conway.
I believe, is number 9,
Will Kennedy. Thank you. I was checking my number 9. Will Kennedy in to kick. Lefty. It's a tail dragger. Alex takes it at the 25. Alex got some room up to the 35-yard line and out over the 40. And that's where Springdale will take over. It's a good field position by the Bulldogs.
Now it's time to see what this offense can put together on the first drive of the game.
This is a much different offense than last year. This offense should rely on the guys up front. Talking to Coach Clark this week, he felt like they could run the football. And you've got across the front, by the way, the starting lineup's brought to you by Lindsay and Associates. Across the front for Springdale, Ivan Tenejero, Jacob Sisimfu, Elayu Enrique, Marco Machada, Alberto Nava. And we'll get the backs and receivers after this play. Lane in the shotgun, takes, hands to Garrett Vaughn. Not much there. And it'll bring up second down.
Looks as if the first guy there for Conway was number 5, Matt Lloyd.
The rest of the starting lineup for the Bulldogs, again, brought to you by Lindsay and Associates. Kamon Robinson out at 1 wide receiver. You got Alex Thompson, Jaden Cornelius, and Riley Totten. The running back, Garrett Vaughn. And the quarterback, of course, Lane Hutchins. So it's 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball at the 39. 5 wide for Springdale. Lane will throw. And it looks like a miscommunication between he and Alex. Going to bring up third down.
Maybe the first game we were trying to get all the butterflies out like we were earlier to start out, Zach.
Well, it's first game for them. It's first game for us. It's first game for the referees. Got a good crowd here at Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. Just underway. This is Springdale's first possession. You got Riley Totten, Alex Thompson, and Jaden Cornelius to the top of the screen. I love this matchup down here at the bottom with Kamon Robinson one-on-one. Garrett Vaughn is the lone setback. Lane will throw. Good time. Down the middle, ball's batted around, and it's going to fall incomplete. Springdale's going to go 3 and out.
We're looking for Jaden there on the crossing route across the middle. The defender got there just in time to tip that ball. Almost actually caught by Garrett Vaughn there on the ricochet.
So it'll bring up 4th down, 4th and 10. 7:04 to go here in the first quarter. Into punt for Springdale, Jesus Barroso. Dropping back deep. Dual return men. You got Will Kennedy. And I believe that is number 18. That's Jackson Freeman. He's the up man. Here's Barroso's kick. It's a knuckleball. It's going to hit at the 36-yard line. Take a nice Springdale roll. And it will be down by Jaden Cornelius at the 20-yard line. So a nice effort there by Jesus. And Conway will take over the football at the 20-yard line.
And here comes that defense back out again after stopping Conway in their first drive, getting just past midfield.
41-yard punt by Jesus Barroso. We'll see who comes out here at the quarterback spot for Conway. Looks like Rhea's going to come back out. Michael George, the running back. Rhea hands to George straight ahead. Got a little bit of room. He's going to be knocked down there by Trey Tolbert. Assisted there by Vaughn Lacey, but he's going to be up close to first down yardage.
It was a nice run straight up the middle there. You had everybody who looks to be on a outside rush. That middle wide open, and Conway kind of took advantage of that right there.
So 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats. Ball at the 30-yard line, just underway here in the first quarter. 6:35 to go, 0-0 our score. Glad you're with us here on the Bulldog Sports Network. He's Carlos, I'm Zach. This is Giovanni Johnson now in at the quarterback spot. He'll throw. Pass is complete. It's Will Kennedy. It's going to be run out of bounds on the far side by Sebastian Barranco. It's going to be close to first down yardage.
I'm sorry, the question, is there anything that Will Kennedy guy doesn't do? We've seen him back there at punt return. He's punter and receiver.
He had a very good game against Springdale last year. Had a couple of receptions. And he is, he's kind of their jack of all trades. Looks like we've got a timeout on the field. Looks like they're going to adjust the spot of the football. He picked up 8. Ball's at the 38-yard line. It's checked at the 37, so it's 2nd and 3. This is Johnson. Trying to find some room, hops through. He's got first down yardage up near the 45. Stop on the play made there by Capone Wise.
Looks like Conway's trying to find a way to run the ball against this front seven, but I think with the way these coaches are, they're definitely going to make adjustments here soon.
So 1st and 10 for Conway, ball at the 46. Johnson stays in at the quarterback spot. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen. 1 to the top. This is Johnson. He'll take, throw quickly, and the pass is complete. It's Will Kennedy on the far side. Be up near midfield. They'll bring up 2nd down.
Look, it'll be 14, Sebastian
Barranco on the tackle.
Conway's got number 15 back out there.
So Rhea checks back in at the quarterback spot. Michael George behind him. Here's George straight ahead. He's going to rumble down to the 45-yard line. He's going to pick up about 5 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and short. Conway's got a little something going against that Springdale defense.
I think what it starts to look like is Conway's double teaming up there and taking away their Springdale's number 1 guy, it seems, on the front line there with Isaiah.
So 3rd down 1, 4:50 to go here in the first quarter. This looks like a little wildcat set here for Michael George. He takes the snap. He's going to get first down yardage. He's going to be tackled there on the far side. Christian Wise with the stop. He's down to the 41-yard line.
It's always hard to stop a little short, stocky running back there. Those guys we used to call butterballs back in my day when I used to play not too long ago.
So it's 1st and 10, 4:30 to go, first quarter. This is Conway's 2nd possession. Rhea in at the quarterback spot. Rhea will throw. He's got time. He's going to go deep, and he's got a man wide open. That's Joe Thomas, and in and out of his hands. Joe Thomas was the leading receiver last year in this game. He had 5 catches for 84 yards. He was wide open. The pass is going to fall incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Almost looked like a sure touchdown there for Conway, but just in and out of his hands. Almost reminded me of the game I watched last night with Ohio State and Indiana, where Ohio State receiver just let it slip right out of his hands.
So it's 2nd and 10. Ball resting at the 41-yard line. Giovanni Johnson now the quarterback. It's been primarily a run package for Conway. As I say that, Johnson will throw. Throws deep, and the ball's going to go incomplete. Nick Richmond, the intended receiver.
That secondary's got these receivers on lock, it seems, as they're going deep to on board there on the coverage.
So they'll bring up 3rd down. Conway 2 out of 3 on 3rd downs early here in the first quarter. Rhea checks back in, as does Brennan Clark, number 2. He'll be in the backfield. Springdale going to show blitz. And we've got whistles and a flag. We'll see what the call is. Delay a game against Conway, so that'll back them up 5 yards. And you kind of expect those penalties in a first game.
You expect those delay games, false starts, the occasional defense jumping off sides, but that's what, could ultimately make or break a game, as it comes down towards the end.
These teams don't get preseason games. You get a scrimmage to kind of work out the kinks, but, they're nervous. We're nervous. It's, it's opening night. So to bring up 3rd and 15, 4:12 to go, first quarter. Rhea in the pistol. He's got Clark behind him. Rhea will throw. Springdale shows blitz. He's got a man wide open. That's Nick Richmond at the 40. And he's going to be real close to first down yardage. Run out of bounds. Juwan Boyd over there, Capone Wise over there, as well as Trey Tolbert.
Looked as if Tolbert was the first guy there to kind of shove him out of bounds.
It's going to bring up 4th and 1. Ball's at the 32-yard line. I'd imagine that Conway's probably going to go for this. This is going to be that wildcat formation again. George, the quarterback. George. And I think he's going to fall forward and get the first down. Not by much. Middle of that Springdale defense, tough, but looks like it's going to be enough for a first down. So Conway converts on 4th down. Drive will continue. This drive now, 10 plays, 49 yards. Rhea will stay in at the quarterback spot. Clark will stay in as the running back. Rhea to throw. Got a quick screen out to Richmond. Richmond makes a move. Jawan's got him. He's going to hold him to about a 5-yard gain. That's Richmond's. He's had a couple of catches here, and I think that's a guy that Coach Hobbs and that defense is going to have to talk about.
They will, and it looks as if Conway's trying to get that run game started so they can open up the pass game a little bit more, or vice versa, where they're getting that, stretching the Bulldogs out side to side in the pass game to open up that run game.
4 catches, 46 yards for Richmond here in the first quarter. Bring up 2nd and 5. It's Clark behind Rhea in the pistol. This is Clark's first carry, and he goes nowhere. Just taking a guess, but there's Trey Tolbert, Von Lacey, and who else? That dude, Isaiah Nichols on the stop. I mean, anytime something goes backwards in the middle of that line, Isaiah is part of it. It's actually going to get a 1-yard loss out of that. It's going to bring up 3rd down. 3rd down's been kind thus far for the Wampus Cats. They're 2 out of 4, 1 out of 1 on 4th downs. So a conversion rate very good for Conway. Rhea the quarterback, Clark the running back. Springdale having a little trouble getting lined up. Here's Clark. They're going to try the reverse, and there's a fumble on the play, and I think Isaiah had a shot at it, and guess who cleans it up? Springdale had that one diagnosed. Great play there by Christian Wise.
Harrison Vasquez there on the tackle.
And trying to reverse to Nick Richmond. It goes nowhere. Springdale eats that one up. It's a 9-yard loss on the play. It's going to bring up 4th down and long, 4th and 15, and it looks like Conway's going to go. Kind of in that in-between range as far as field goals go. Here we go, 4th down and 15 for Conway. Rhea will throw. Jace gets pressure on him. He's got some time. He throws it. And it's complete down the sidelines, and Springdale's going to take over. It just depends on where the spot is. He's well short of the first down. Again, Nick Richmond on the reception, but he's pushed out of bounds. Looks like the ball's going to be marked at the 24-yard line, and Springdale will take over there. So, after a lengthy drive, 12 plays, Springdale's defense holds, and now the offense gets a chance to come back out. They went 3 and out on their first possession, 1:25 to go here in the first quarter.
I think that first possession gave the offensive time just to shake out the cobwebs, get used to some live action, and they're ready for this one.
So you got Alex and came on to the top of the screen. Riley Totten to the bottom. Lane in the pistol. Takes, hands to Garrett. Garrett straight ahead. There's just not much there. I don't know that he's going to get anything on that. It's going to bring up 2nd and long.
Looked to be number 44 there at the first hit. I believe that is Logan White.
Senior outside linebacker for Conway, 6'1", 220. If you look at the depth charts and the heights and weights, I mean, Conway not that big, but very active thus far as their front 7 goes. Lane will throw. 5-man rush, under pressure, gets rid of it. Pass is complete to Alex, out to the 31-yard line, so Lane gets his first completion of the year. Finds that old, trusty safety blanket. Alex Thompson, ball, 7-yard pickup. He'll bring up 3rd down and 3. By the way, Alex needs now just 43 receptions to get 100 in his career and 135 yards to reach 1,000 in his career. So we'll keep an eye on that. Here it is, 3rd down. Lane in the pistol. Conway shows blitz. They're a base 4-3 defense, so you're going to see a lot of moving parts. Guys faking blitzes one way and coming another way. Play clock down to 4. I think Springdale's going to have to call a timeout here. And they do. So with 9 seconds to go in the first quarter, 0-0 our score. You're watching Springdale Bulldog football on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Athletics in Springdale has been producing winners since 1910. Our coaches do a tremendous job connecting our students to our schools. We are one community.
When accidents happen, our 30 minutes or less ER service pledge can mean less waiting and faster care. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge at Northwest Health System, Bentonville and Springdale.
And we welcome you back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. Coach Clark calls a timeout as the play clock was going down. Situation 3rd and 3, 9 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Got 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom, Lane in the pistol. It's Garrett Vaughn behind him. Lane going to check off. Here comes Jaden in motion. On the roll, looking for Riley Totten, and we're going to get a flag. I believe we're going to get an interference call. It's on Conway.
Looked to be number 9.
Will Kennedy, that's our guy.
He's shaking his head, thinking the flag's probably on him, I think, just by the body that he's showing right now.
Springdale trying a little play-action pass there. Riley coming across on the drag route, draws the interference call. I'm not sure what happened. We had a flag down, but maybe it was offsetting penalties, so it'll bring up. They'll replay the down. It's 3rd down and 3. And they've got a timeout, Springdale. So we'll take the timeout with them. 0-0 our score. You're watching Springdale Bulldog football on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Outstanding customer service. That's the Everett difference.
The best selection you'll find anywhere. That's the Everett difference.
Family owned and operated, that's the Everett difference.
Professionals who put you first. That's the Everett difference.
The best car buying experience we ever had.
That's the Everett difference.
Come see us and discover the Everett difference during Ram Power Days right now at Everett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Fiat.
Welcome back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. Just to clarify, it was offsetting penalties. 1 on Springdale, 1 on Conway on the interference call that we thought we didn't see the holding signal from the referee. So offsetting penalties. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3 for Springdale. Ball at the 31-yard line. You got Riley and Jaden to the bottom of the screen. You got Alex and came on to the top. Garrett's the running back. This will be the last play of the first quarter. Lane will throw. All out blitz, and it's nearly intercepted by Fulsifer. It's going to bring up 4th down. Springdale offense off to kind of a tough start here. And that is the last play of the first quarter. Carlos and I will be back with the second quarter coming up. You're watching Springdale Bulldog football on the Bulldog Sports Network.
We came to Arvest Bank to see what makes it different.
It's a community bank that really reaches out to the customers to make them feel special. I feel special every time I come in here.
They want to be involved in the community and want to be part of the community.
They support our university, our athletic department.
They've told us that they could have a fleet of volunteers there to help this year if we need it.
I see them at a lot of our Hispanic community events that we do.
I can't think of another bank in the city that has such a big community presence as Arvest.
Arvest Bank, our customers say it best.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
Welcome back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium as we start the second quarter. Jesus Barroso in to kick for Springdale, back deep for Conway. It's number 9, Will Kennedy. First kick for Barroso, 41 yards. Barroso gets the kick away. There's Kennedy after it, and he picks it up at the 35. Will Kennedy. Nice tackle on the far side. Capone wise.
He picked up that football and went nowhere. I think he should have just let it roll a little bit more.
It's a dangerous play when you got to opposite colored jerseys around. So Conway will take over at the 36. 1 yard return on the play. 34-yard punt by Jesus. And Springdale defense back on the field. Conway with 87 yards in the first half on 22 plays. The quarterbacks will have to kind of differentiate between the two. 7 out of 10 for 69 yards. Conway only rushing for 18 yards on 12 carries, so the Springdale defense in the run game doing an excellent job. This is Giovanni Johnson. One Springdale defender flew by, and he's going to wind up picking up about 3 yards. Mark him at the 39. It'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Looked as if Tolbert and none other than Isaiah Nichols there on the stop.
So to bring up 2nd and 7 for Conway. Just underway here, second quarter. 0-0 our score. Glad you're with us here on the Bulldog Sports Network. He's Carlos Trevino. I'm Zach Arns. Glad you're with us here for the 2017 Springdale Bulldog season, a season that we have been waiting for basically since November. This is Rhea back in the game. He's going to take and throw to Richmond. And Richmond's going to be met by Juwan and Capone. He'll get a couple out of it.
Conway definitely looks like as if they're trying to spread out the Springdale defense from side to side to open up those run lanes later on in the game.
Coach Clark had talked about the screen game that Conway runs. Not really a vertical passing game, although they will take their shots as we saw in the first quarter. But the screen game to Richmond and Kennedy and the third guy that we really haven't talked about yet, Will McKenna, number 88. Those are 3 guys that they like to get the football in their hands in space and let them go. So here we go, 3rd down and 3, 10:30 to go, second quarter. Rhea to throw. He's got time. He's going to take it and throw. And Capone locking down the receiver on the far side. That was the man I just mentioned, McKenna.
Again, trying to stretch that Springdale defense down deep. Capone just with great coverage there.
So bring up 4th down. And Conway's gone for it a couple times on 4th down, so I wouldn't say this is an absolute here as they do send in their punting unit. Fulsifer is the punter. He's also the starting middle linebacker. He dropped the interception on Springdale's last drive. Back deep for Springdale, number 19. It's Alex Thompson. And we've got a conversation going on here between the officials.
I will say this before they snap this ball. They have number 4, Johnson, back there. What seems to be the protection man on punt. So
interesting.
I'd watch for a fake here.
It's a good pickup by you. That is interesting. And yeah, you could see they were talking about it. They thought. Yep, they're going to call a false start on Conway. They had the on the false start. The guards pulled. That was that's an excellent pickup by you. So they'll back them up 5 yards. Color man coming up big early. I like it. Good spot.
I mean, once you play for a while, you see some of these others that
I would have gone another way. You get burned by that a couple times, as we often were. You start to pick up on that stuff when you get older. But nice pickup, Carlos. Welcome to the broadcast. Good to have you along. See, I did not see Giovanni Johnson as the up back, but I mean, you picked up on it right away. They tried the fake. They get called for a motion penalty, and it'll bring up 4th and 8. Now, I imagine that we'll see the more traditional punt unit. Maybe.
They still have
Johnson's
Giovanni
still out there. Alex Thompson back deep. Fulsifer in the punt formation. And he'll kick it away. A bit of a tail dragger. Alex at the 20. And Alex fumbles the football. It's picked up by Conway. And they're going to have the ball first down inside the 5-yard line of Springdale.
Well, hold on there, Zach. There's a flag here on the field.
We do have a flag down, so we'll wait and see what that is. And judging by the way that Springdale's acting, the conversation going on here on the sidelines, it looks like it may be against Springdale.
Like I said, those turnovers are going to be big. The interception, it almost pick six there.
So we got a block in the back on Springdale and then a sideline warning against Conway. So the play's going to stand. So it's going to set Conway up. Ball's going to be marked at the 2-yard line.
I think right here in the red zone is where you see what your defense is really made of. In the scrimmage, it looked like the defense didn't really let anything go with what Shiloh was giving them. This red zone trip is brought to you by Storms Orthodontics.
This is Johnson, the quarterback. He's going to keep it, and he's going to push his way into the end zone for a Conway touchdown. So Conway converts on the fumble, and we've got our first points of the night. A 2-yard touchdown run by Giovanni Jones gives Conway a 6-0 lead.
That almost looked like just the offensive line there for Conway just outmanned Springdale's front seven there and just powered their way into the end zone with Giovanni at QB.
Conway in to try the extra point. The kicker is Jordan Wicks. Interestingly enough, a Kansas State baseball signee. Wicks' extra point is on the way, and it's good. So our new score, Conway 7, Springdale nothing. You're watching Springdale Bulldog football on the Bulldog Sports Network.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
Our 30 minutes or less ER service pledge means faster care. And because we're full-service hospitals, a lot more care if you need it. Less waiting, faster care. At Northwest Health System, Bentonville and Springdale.
And we welcome you back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. 7-0 our score. Giovanni Johnson punching it in from 2 yards out gives Conway a 7-0 lead. So Jordan Wicks will kick off for Springdale back deep. Number 22, Jarrell Parchman.
You know, I was telling you there at the break, Zach, you don't hear many baseball signees as kickers. You always hear about soccer players as kickers, but not baseball signees.
So Wicks will kick off. Darrell's going to field it at the 1. This is Jarrell Parchman, young sophomore. Power ahead to the 24-yard line. A 23-yard return for the sophomore. Springdale will take over. 1st and 10.
Looked as if he was met there at the 20 on the first hit, and Jarrell just kind of kept pushing his way down to the 25.
Yeah, he did get all the way out to the 25, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball to 25-yard line. The Springdale offense, really not much going. 6 plays, 7 yards. Lane will bring him out. Garrett's the running back. Got Kamon and Alex to the bottom. You got Jaden and Riley to the top. Here's Garrett. Got a little seam. Garrett to the 30. Good run there on 1st down for the Springdale junior. I want to call him a sophomore because that's what I did all last season. But 6-yard pickup.
Logan White, their middle linebacker there on the stop.
9 minutes to go, second quarter, 7-0 our score. Same formation. Lane in the shotgun. Lane will throw. Quick dart to Alex Thompson, and he fumbles a football. No, they're going to say incomplete. The pass goes in and out of Alex's hands. Alex will be back. J-Lo's going to check in. Jonathan Lopez, number 21 for Springdale. Jaden Cornelius will check out. Check that. It's Riley Totten going to sit down. This is going to bring up third down. Call it 4. Ball at the 31-yard line. Line to make is the 35. Lane will throw. Swing pass. Got Garrett in the flat, and he's going to pick up the first down. And we've got a penalty flag. Looks like we may get a late hit out of bounds.
That was Tyler Banks there on the tackle out of bounds.
So he's got the first down. We'll tack some on after the play. It is indeed an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Conway, so it'll be a 15-yard penalty. It's Conway's second penalty of the night. It's going to move the football all the way into Conway territory at the 40, we'll call it the 48-yard line. And it'll be Springdale first down. So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, ball at the 47. Lane's got J-Lo and Garrett in the backfield with it.
That defensive line making a few shifts there. It seems to be right before the snap.
Here's J-Lo, his first carry of the year. J-Lo put his head down and get a couple out of it. I'll mark him down to 46, so we'll give him 2 on the play. Bring up 2nd and 8. That Springdale run game struggling a little bit. 4 carries, 8 yards. Clock running, 8:20 to go, second quarter. 7-0 our score. Giovanni Johnson with the only touchdown of the night. A 2-yard run after a turnover and a penalty. It's Jaden Cornelius in motion. Quick hitter to came on in and out of his hands and incomplete. It's going to bring up 3rd and 8. The play was there. Springdale's still working the jitters out here. These are not things that usually happen. Some of these experienced veterans came on a senior. Alex a senior.
2 short drop passes there. Almost was him back-to-back, but like we've been saying all night, it is definitely the first game of the year. Definitely still shaking out those jitters.
So 3rd down. Ball at the 46-yard line. Lane in the shotgun. Garrett's the running back. Lane will throw. He's got Came on. There you go. Came on Robinson makes up for the drop.
Came on with a nice snag there across the middle.
15-yard pickup for the Bulldogs and a first down.
Looked to be there on the coverage and tackle number 25, Darnell Washington.
You knew Came on wasn't going to drop 2 in a row. So Springdale picks up on 3rd down. It'll be 1st and 10, ball at the 31. It's Riley Totten in motion. They're going to try the wheel route. Nearly intercepted on the far side. It's going to bring up 2nd down.
Looked to be Conway's guy, number 9, Will Kennedy there on the tip.
That's our guy. Will has been everywhere here in the first half. This is Garrett straight ahead. He's going to get a couple. He'll get inside the 30, maybe the 29-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Bulldogs.
Garrett was originally met by number 52, Jordan Doby.
So they're going to mark the ball at the 29-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 2 for Garrett. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 8. Lane in the shotgun. He'll throw. He set up the middle screen. This is Jaden Cornelius. Jaden's got some room, and he's going to come up short of the first down.
I know these big guys aren't going to get a lot of credit this year, but a good block out there by number 77, Ivan Trejo. Nice little turnaround block there to give Jaden just a few more yards.
It's going to bring up 4th down and 2 for the Bulldogs. Looks like they're going to send in the jumbo unit. J-Lo will be the running back. You got Harrison Vasquez at the fullback spot along with Jace Carey, 2 defensive linemen.
If I'm Conway, I'm definitely afraid to see this.
Here's J-Lo straight ahead. And boy, it's going to be close. I think he's got it, but judging by the spot, he's got it. And they're going to give him a 2-yard pickup and a Springdale first down. Boy, not by much, but Springdale gets physical.
Not by much, but football is a game of inches for sure. And it just looks like J-Lo picked up those few inches that we needed for that first down.
J-Lo, he's kind of put together, 5'8", 185. And that's the kind of guy you want running in between the tackles. But it brings up first down. Springdale going to go with a little bit of a heavy set here. 2 tight ends, Isaiah in at a tight end spot, as well as Jaden Cornelius. J-Lo the running back. And we've got whistles and a delay of game penalty against Springdale.
They're calling a delay of game, and it looks like Conway thought it was a timeout.
I think Coach Clark thought it was a timeout. Well, they'll assess the penalty back to the 26-yard line. It'll bring up 1st and 15. Same formation. You got Alex and came on to the top. J-Lo the running back. Here's Lane. Hands to J-Lo. J-Lo's got the corner. He's going to get the penalty yardage back, +1, down to the 20-yard line. So 6-yard pickup for J-Lo on first down at 15. He's going to get Springdale into the red zone. The red zone, by the way, sponsored by Storms Orthodontics. This is Springdale's first trip into the red zone tonight.
Still have that 2 tight end set for Springdale.
Lane with a fake. He's going to throw down the middle. He's got Jaden Cornelius wide open. Touchdown, Springdale!
And there is your first touchdown of the 2017 season for the Springdale Bulldogs. Great to see those linemen get down there celebrating. Love the protection.
Jaden Cornelius with the reception, his first career touchdown reception. And Springdale draws within 1. This is where things get fun. Springdale very inventive on the extra points. You got Lane and Isaiah out there along with Henry Cruz, the long snapper. He's number 99. You got the bigs down here to the left. Looks like Springdale's going to go for 2. Here's Lane. Little shovel pass to Isaiah, and he's going to be cut down. Nice play there by Matt Lloyd, the senior linebacker. PAT's no good. And our new score, Conway 7, Springdale 6. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're watching Springdale Bulldog football on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Hometown. That word still means something here. It means we're neighbors. We do the right thing. We care about your family. And you deserve the very best every time you walk in the front door. HAR-BER. Hometown fresh.
And we welcome you back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. 4:39 to go in the half. Springdale's just got their first touchdown of 2017. The extra point not good, so Conway still clinging to a 1-point lead. The scoring drive, 12 plays, 75 yards. The scoring drives are brought to you by First Security Bank. The touchdown, 20 yards from Lane to Jaden Cornelius, his first career touchdown. And Jesus Barroso kicks off. This is George at the 8. Oh, great hit. J-Lo's in there. And number 34 for Springdale. I dig deep into my depth chart. I believe that's Stoney Patterson.
Stoney, just a sophomore, I believe.
Stoney White, excuse me. I get he and Keaton Patterson backwards. Stoney, my bad. Great tackle there by Stoney. And Conway will take over at the 23. It'll be 1st and 10. We'll see who checks in at quarterback. Looks like it's going to be Rhea. And it's 1st and 10 for Conway. This is Clark. A little bit of room. He's going to get near the 25-yard line. We'll call it a 2-yard pickup. Vaughn Lacey on the stop. Clock continuing to run here. 4:20 to go in the half. 7-6 our score. Glad you're with us here on the Bulldog Sports Network. He's Carlos. I'm Zach. 2017 Springdale Bulldogs season is underway. Got a good one here in Northwest Arkansas. Glad you're with us. Rhea in the pistol. He'll throw. He's got time. Here comes Isaiah. And oh, my goodness, the ball's loose.
They're calling that an incomplete pass. Man.
They are going to call it an incomplete pass, it looks like. That was that dude, Isaiah Nichols.
Isaiah Nichols got back there in a hurry. You would have thought someone stole his lunch money or something.
Well, Isaiah does like to get after the quarterback a bunch. He doesn't like quarterbacks very much, but from what I understand, most linemen don't. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 8, 3:53 to go. And I'll tell you, if Springdale can get the football back with a reasonable amount of time here, the way they moved the football in the last series, could be good for the Bulldogs. An injury to report here. Capone Wise went out at the end of the first quarter. He has not returned. Sebastian Barranco has taken his spot on the far side, and we've got a timeout. 3:53 to go in the half. 7-6 our score. You're watching Springdale Bulldog football on the Bulldog Sports Network.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be. For you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas.
And we welcome you back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. 3:53 to go here in the half. Springdale trails by 1, 7-6. It's been a pretty much defensive game here in the first half, and I know Carlos wants to extend a shout-out to his parents who are watching tonight. Carlos is doing fine. We're up here. We're coaching him along. It's his first night here in Springdale. He's going to be good by the end of the season. I told him right before we went on, you're going to look back at this game, laugh, and say, I said, what? But I'm glad to have him here. 3rd and 8 for Conway. Andrew Rhea has checked out. It looks like Giovanni Johnson is in at the quarterback spot. Springdale defense looks like they're coming. Looks like Johnson on the run. Got a little seam to the outside. He's going to come up short of the first down. He's going to be knocked out at the 30-yard line. A pickup of about 4, so it's going to bring up 4th and 4 in decision time for Coach Ashcraft on the far side. Maybe more importantly for Springdale, it stops the clock.
It does. And I think here the defense just needs to buckle down. That front seven just needs to get pressure. Almost looks like if now Conway's bringing out that punting unit. But like we saw earlier in the first quarter, you need to be careful with Giovanni back there, the up back.
Yeah, that's something I think that you pointed out real early in this, and I think Springdale sort of backed off in anticipation of a fake punt. This is Fulsifer, left-footed kicker, a little bit of a tail dragger. Alex going to let it bounce, and it's going to take a Conway bounce and roll dead at the 24. So a nice punt by Fulsifer, and probably a smart play by Alex with the pressure coming. So Springdale will take over at the 24-yard line.
We do have 2 flags down on the field.
Well, this could get interesting.
One there at the line of scrimmage, the other one at the, looks like about the 41, 42-yard line. That second flag came in late. Not quite sure what it looked like that one was on.
Well, these are probably both post-possession fouls, so it's just how far is one's holding on a punt is just, I mean, it's standard. So while we await the call, It's like a personal foul face mask against Conway. Unsportsmanlike against Conway. So double the personal fouls on Conway. Springdale's going to get great field position out of this.
And that just may be what the Bulldogs need here with 3:34 left in the first half. Bulldogs were moving the ball great there at the end of that last drive, scored a touchdown. Bulldogs may take this one in halftime leading if they can convert here with these two big penalties.
So the penalties are going to be marked off against Conway up to the 46 of Conway. So Springdale will take over in Conway territory, 30 yards worth of penalties, and that's a huge break there.
That is, and like I said earlier in the first quarter, penalties, when the game comes down to, could make or break, when it comes down to the wins or losses.
So Springdale takes over, 1st and 10 at the 46. You got Garrett Vaughn in the backfield, came on at the bottom of the screen. Riley, Jaden, and Alex to the top. And we've got whistles and a flag. Conway's clapping, so I'm assuming it's a penalty against Springdale. Looks like I'm going to guess, false start. Push them back into their own territory, back to the 49-yard line, 3:34 to go in the half. Lane will throw. Got Alex across the middle. And Alex is going to get close to the 41-yard line. Good pickup there on 1st down for the Bulldogs. Alex with his 2nd catch of the ball game. They're going to mark it at the 41.
As a big guy, I'm just going to sit here and probably all night be giving that offensive line the credit they deserve. They gave Lane a lot of time to sit back there and read a book before he threw that ball.
2nd down and 5. Closing in on 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Lane in the shotgun. Same formation. Got Garrett, the lone running back. Lane going to take and throw. He's looking for Kamon. He's got Kamon open. Kamon Robinson at the 5. Touchdown, Springdale!
And Kamon with great hands there and great closing speed to catch up with that ball to get all the way in the end zone.
The referee is going to mark him out at the 2. I got a little excited there. Great throw, great catch by Kamon. They're going to mark him out at the 2.
And I'll tell you what, Zach, we're not the only ones that thought that was a touchdown. The fans here at Jarrell Williams definitely thought Kamon scored that touchdown.
I think if we took a quick poll right now, the ref, not real popular. But Springdale sets up shop, 1st and goal, ball at the 2-yard line. They're going to go into that heavy set again. Harrison Vasquez, Jace Carey, the upbacks. Here comes J-Lo. And he's going to be real close. I think he's going to get maybe a yard out of that. And not necessarily a bad thing here. That clock continues to run. You don't give Conway a lot of time. Maybe you take another 40 seconds off here. You wind that clock down. They're going to stay in that heavy jumbo set. Got the 2 tight ends. You got Mason Hutchins out there. You got Isaiah Nichols.
And you have Garrett Vaughn back there, not J-Lo.
So Garrett, the running back. Here they come again. And Garrett's not going to get there, so it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Look as if number 25, Darnell Washington, was there. At first, he hobbled off the field, however, unfortunately.
Clock continuing to run here. 1:51 to go in the half, and I think Springdale's going to let the play clock run down. They're going to call it their last time out of the first half. Talk about this. And I can see Coach Clark down there, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Clock down to 1 second, and they call the timeout. So we'll take the timeout with them. 1:35 to go in the half. Springdale trails by 1. You're watching Springdale Bulldog football on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Do you need new tires? Do you want a price match guarantee? Do you want to wait in a newly renovated waiting room? Do you want tire services at any time with no appointment? Then Tire Tracks is the place for you. With our price match guarantee and the largest inventory of new and used tires in the area, we have tires for every budget. Tire Tracks, Northwest Arkansas's largest independent tire dealer.
And we welcome you back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. 95 seconds to go here in the first half. Springdale trails by 1. Looking at a 3rd and goal, ball resting at the 1-yard line. Coach Clark's got him in a huddle down there, and I imagine we're probably just going to see the same thing. They're going to line up in the power I and try and muscle their way in. You see Mason Hutchins coming out. This trip to the red zone for the Bulldogs brought to you by Storms Orthodontics. Glad to have them as a sponsor for the 2017 Springdale Bulldogs. Hopefully we'll talk about Storms Orthodontics a bunch. It means Springdale's in the red zone a whole bunch. We'll take it. So 3rd and goal. Garrett's the running back. Same formation, that power I. Here's Lane. Going to take and give to Garrett. He's got a big hole. Touchdown, Springdale.
There we go, right between the tackles, right behind what looked to be number 77, Ivan Trejo.
Tinajero. Actually, I had to ask Ivan about that. Tinajero. So Springdale converts on a 3rd and goal. They'll take a 12-7 lead pending the extra point. On their last extra point try, Isaiah tripped up at the 1-yard line. And it looks like they're going to go conventional here. Jesus Barroso will check in. This will be Jesus' first extra point try this year. Snaps down, good. And the kick is on the way, and good. So with 1:31 to go here in the first half, our new score, Springdale 13, Conway 7. You're watching Springdale Bulldog football on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett with Everett Chevrolet. You've heard me say we have a better way to buy your new Chevy. If you've not been here to find out what that means, I want to invite you to come see us. You'll love the way we do business. And you can shop our great selection of the North American Truck of the Year, the Chevy Silverado, with the best V8 fuel economy of any full-size truck. Family owned, customer friendly, Everett Chevrolet in Springdale, I-49 at Elm Springs Road.
We welcome you back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. 1:31 to go here in the first half. That scoring drive, 7 plays, 46 yards, brought to you by First Security Bank. Garrett Vaughn with a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Bulldogs take the lead 13-7. Jesus Barroso into kickoff. Or check that, that's Gerardo Barroso into kickoff. He gets into it, good deep kick. It's going to go over the head of Clark and roll into the end zone for a touchback. So Conway will take over at the 20-yard line, and after kind of a dormant first quarter, the Springdale offense has really gotten it going now. 23 plays, 124 yards. The passing game has started to pick it up a little bit. 7 out of 13 for Lane, 104 yards. And 1 touchdown to Jaden Cornelius.
So far, it looks like that defense has definitely played stellar for Springdale. Conway's defense has also stepped up and definitely kept the Bulldogs out of the end zone in at least the first quarter. These last 2 drives for the Bulldogs, however, different story.
So Andrew Rhea will check in at the quarterback spot. Again, 91 seconds to go in the half. This is Rhea. He'll throw. And he is met by Isaiah. Ball up for grabs. Nice catch on the far side. I'm going to take a guess and say that was probably Nick Richmond again. Bumped out of bounds there by Juwan Boyd. It's going to be a pickup of 9. Clock will stop with 1:24.
And that was indeed, now that he gets off after being pushed into the sideline, that was Nick Richmond, I apologize, there on that catch.
So it's 2nd and 1 for Conway. Ball to 29-yard line. Tell you what, Rhea's taking a beating from Isaiah Nichols. This is Richmond again. He's going to be knocked down by Sebastian Barranco. Good pickup on the play. He's going to be out to about the 43.
And this is where you start to see that 2-minute offense come into play at the end of the first half and there at the end of the game. Conway running tempo for sure.
Conway with 2 timeouts left. This is Rhea again. Got a lot of time. Got a man right down the middle. Nice catch. That's Joe Thomas with the reception. Ball's going to be placed at the 29-yard line. So Conway's found a little something in the passing game. It's 1st and 10, ball at the 29-yard line. 1 minute to go in the first half. This is Rhea. Springdale trying to bring some pressure. Capone Wise back in the football game, and we've got a catch on the far side. That's Will Kennedy with the reception. Ball's going to be placed at the 5-yard line to pick up the 24. It's going to be first and goal with 49 seconds to go in the half.
Conway definitely marching down to the Storm Orthodontics red zone very fast here with under a minute to play in the first half.
This is Rhea on the roll. Roll throwback, and that ball is going to go incomplete, and it'll bring up second and goal. Good defense there by the Bulldogs. They read that one very well. 27 seconds to go in the half. This is really the first outburst as far as the passing game goes for Conway here in the first half. Rhea on the night, 9 out of 14, 123 yards. Giovanni Johnson, the other quarterback, 3 out of 4 for 25. Nick Richmond's been the primary target, 8 catches for 85 yards. This is going to bring up second and goal, ball at the 5-yard line, 27 seconds to go in the half. Rhea's going to go under center, something they haven't done tonight. The fake to George. He's got a man open in the end zone. Pass is complete to number 43. That's Nick Tufu, the tight end. And Conway's knotted it up at 13.
Nice little pass there by Rhea just to get that to Tufu for the touchdown. Great drive by Conway for sure with that tempo.
6 plays, 80 yards. They go the distance. Jordan Wicks in to try the extra point. Kick's on the way, and it's good. So with 23 seconds to go here in the first half, our new score, Conway 14, Springdale 13. You're watching Springdale Bulldog football on the Bulldog Sports Network.
You can love where you live and play at an apartment community managed by Lindsay Management Company. Affordable apartments with awesome amenities, including clubhouses, fitness centers, pools, tennis and basketball courts, and playgrounds at select locations. Many locations also include golf privileges, business centers, game rooms, tanning beds, whirlpools, saunas, and resort-style swimming pools. View rates, photos, and apply online at lindsaymanagement.com.
The Conway scoring drive, 6 plays, 80 yards. Our scoring drive is brought to you by First Security National Bank. In to kick off for Conway is Jordan Wicks, number 3, back deep for the Bulldogs. Darrell Parchman, number 22. The Bulldogs will have 23 seconds left with which to work. They don't have any timeouts, so I'm guessing, barring a big return here, we'll probably just see Springdale take a knee and go to the half. So Wicks will kick off. Ball's going to bounce at the 11 and over the head of Darrell Parchman. And we've got whistles, and it looks like an illegal procedure against Conway, which will back them up 5 yards, maybe give Darrell a chance to get a good return out of this.
You know, Zach, for those that are watching at home and across anywhere else, 23 seconds may not seem like a lot of time to everyone else, but for those of us that have played the game, 23 seconds is an eternity sometimes.
Can be if you're on defense and they're hitting you big.
It can be. Even with no timeouts, Springdale can still put a drive together that we may be surprised about.
Well, we've seen the pass game from Kamon. I mean, Kamon can certainly get behind you.
That was definitely something that it looked like we'd seen in years past with Kyler, that you throw it up and he'd be there. Almost looked like the exact same there with Kamon.
So Wicks has it teed up again. Parchman back at the 9-yard line. Kick's going to bounce at the 14, and Parchman's got it. Here's Darrell. And he's going to get up near the 30-yard line. That's where Springdale will take over. As we head towards halftime here, Springdale trails by 1, 14-13. It's been a kind of a start and stop kind of game. Not much going on in the first quarter. We had 27 points in the second quarter.
Definitely one of those. Offenses and defenses are still filling each other out. It's almost like a boxing match. Still early in the first few rounds.
This was a 2-point game at halftime. 16-14 Conway led last year. And then Springdale exploded in the third quarter. There's Lane in the shotgun. He's got Garrett by his side. Here comes Garrett. And he's going to get up to about the 34-yard line. We'll call it a 5-yard gain.
That does look to be the last play of the first half.
So that's going to do it for the first half. A very entertaining first half. Springdale trails by 1, 14-13. I'm going to have a chance to talk to Springdale Athletic Director Wayne Stellick at halftime. Carlos and I will be back with the stats and talk about the second half. You're watching the Springdale Bulldogs on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Outstanding customer service. That's the Everett difference.
The best selection you'll find anywhere. That's the Everett difference.
Family owned and operated, that's the Everett difference.
Professionals who put you first. That's the Everett difference.
The best car buying experience I've ever had. That's the Everett difference.
Come see us and discover the Everett difference during Ram Power Days right now at Everett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Fiat.
We came to Arvest Bank to see what makes it different.
It's a community bank that really reaches out to the customers to make them feel special. I feel special every time I come in here.
They want to be involved in the community and want to be part of the community.
They support our university, our athletic department.
They've told us that they could have a fleet of volunteers there to help this year if we needed.
I see them at a lot of our Hispanic community events that we do.
I can't think of another bank in the city that has such a big community presence as Arvest.
Arvest Bank, our customers say it best.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's your Springdale High School Pom Squad. And now, for your enjoyment, the Springdale High School Cheer Team, under the coaching of Karen Doherty. Big cheer for the SHS cheer team.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to tonight's performance of the award-winning, critically acclaimed Springdale High School Marching Band. We invite you to remain seated as the band takes the field. This year's show transports us to the colorful, breathtaking world of human acrobatics with music that is passionate, vibrant, and driving. We hope you thoroughly enjoy our 2017-2018 show entitled Cirque du Soleil. And now, under the field direction of drum majors Luis Villanueva, Fa Sisavan, and Thomas Gray, the Springdale High School Marching Bulldog Band.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be. For you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas.
Athletics in Springdale has been producing winners since 1910. Our coaches do a tremendous job connecting our students to our schools. We are one community.
Outstanding customer service, that's the Everett difference.
The best selection you'll find anywhere. That's the Everett difference.
Family owned and operated, that's the Everett difference.
Professionals who put you first, that's the Everett difference.
The best car buying experience we ever had.
That's the Everett difference.
Come see us and discover the Everett difference during Ram Power Days right now at Everett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Fiat.
Catering to the big moments, the little wins, the long talks, and the quick getaways. Because food this inviting is bound to add a lot of flavor to your life.
Introducing the Zack's Pack. Served with chicken fingers, sides, Texas toast, and iced tea. Pick one up for dinner or your next event. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
And we welcome you back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium, where our halftime score 14-13, Conway over our Bulldogs. Pleased to be joined at this time by Springdale Athletics Director and really the godfather of the stream here, because this was your idea. You put it all together, and you've brought a bunch of folks like Seth and all our students together. And that's Springdale Athletic Director Wayne Stellick. How are you, sir? I have not seen you in it's been a while.
Been a while, but Zach, thanks for the kind words. But Trent Jones, in his passionate way, pushed a lot of things in the right direction to make this happen. But I just think it's a great thing for our fans to be able to watch this. If they're here or away, they can watch it and enjoy the broadcast that you all bring, and of course the Har-BER broadcast. But it's fun for all of us, and it's good to get football going again.
It is fun. I was up at 4:30 this morning. I could not wait to get here tonight. I had to go through a whole day of work just to get here. And, with the start of the new school year, you've got a lot of sports that are starting to kick off. I just had a conversation before the game with Coach Heather Hunsucker, the girls basketball coach. She's all excited about her team. But we got volleyball underway, and apparently they had a little bit of a doozy last night.
Great win by Megan Thompson and the Lady Bulldogs. Went up to Rogers and won in 3. And I've been around volleyball a long time, and they won the second match 32-30. I'm not sure I've ever seen a game that's gone that far, 32-30, and then they come back and won game 3 and won up there in 3. Road wins in 7A conference is strong, and that's a good win for the Bulldogs.
Any road win in any sport in the 7A is hard to come by. So when you can get that kind of win, that's a great thing. But I want to talk about another idea that's solely yours. It's the Varsity Club. It's the sponsor of our kickoff tonight, and this is exciting. This is a chance for former athletes to sort of and sometimes you get that generational. You get the guys from 10 years ago don't necessarily get along with guys from 1 year ago, but this is a chance to bring everybody together.
Well, the Varsity Club is our idea that we've brought forward to connect after competition. And these don't have to be letter winners. They could be. But years ago, lots of sports didn't have letter winners. So really, if you're on a Springdale or HAR-BER high school team and you played, whether you lettered or not, you can join. And if you've been out of school for more than 5 years, it's $20. If you're a recent graduate in the last 5 years, it's $5. And what we want to do is reconnect. Dennis DeBusk and Don Strubing have kind of been the foreman people here on getting this to take place. And so we're hoping to have a social here in a couple weeks, bring some Springdale and HAR-BER people back together and, relive some moments, some stories about Coach Williams or Gus Malzahn or some of these Hall of Fame coaches. And it's just a way for us to get people back together. Because, as you know, we have a lot of people here that maybe the dad was a Springdale Bulldog and the son's HAR-BER. Right. And so trying to bring Highway 71 a little bit smaller, make that a little bit more of a 2-lane highway, not a 4-lane highway. And it's just our way of trying to, like I said, try to get folks reconnected, share our stories about what we want to do in athletics, and that may entice people to help us out with other projects we want to do.
You couldn't get two better ambassadors for Springdale High School than Coach Dennis DeBusk and Don Strubing. They are passionate about not just Springdale athletics, but the Varsity Club as well. How can they get in touch with Coach DeBusk or Coach Strubing? I guess Don Strubing.
They can contact us in the athletic office. And, of course, we've now moved to 3804 Kelly Avenue. We think we're done moving for a while. We're comfortable where we're at. and it's a great facility for us. And so come out and see us out there, or reach us through the internet, through our website, or through our internet, and we'll just make some connections happen.
So what do you think about we got a great crowd here tonight? I mean, everybody's excited about Springdale football. I think everybody wanted to see the Bulldogs come out, and they've certainly put on a show here in the first half against a good Conway team. But, I mean, you look around the stands, the dog pound's full. You got people in the stands. I mean, there's a lot of excitement. I mean, it's a good time to be a Springdale Bulldog.
This is football in Springdale. We had a great crowd at the courtyard prior to. Gary Reed and some of his teammates got together, and we had some food trucks in there and kept some kids around and got them to come in the game tonight. We got good energy here. It's been a good first half of football. Really it's a tie game that the PAT or the going for two, but it's been even Steven, and hopefully we have the same kind of third quarter we had last year down at Conway.
Yeah, where Springdale exploded and pretty much put the game away. But I know you've got another passion, which happens tomorrow. Your Bug Eaters, who have we got tomorrow?
Well, the funny thing is, the Bug Eaters play Arkansas State.
Now, you're obviously a Nebraska fan through and through. What's your prediction on that one?
I think Nebraska's going to win.
You think so? Because I saw a quote from Blake Anderson that said, we're going there to win.
Well, they should. That's what he's got to say.
Why else would you go?
But I can tell you that tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, I'll be with 92,000 of my friends and family.
All right, so you're going to make the trip up to Fishhook Farms and then go to the game.
I will do that.
Now, you're going to leave right after this?
I will.
Wow, that's a heck of a drive up to Lincoln.
Well, as I'm young and I'm healthy, I can do that.
Do it. Do it as many times as you possibly can. So I'm really excited. I'm glad that you were here and able to spend some time with us, and we do thank you for all of this, because this is I can't speak for Carlos, but I mean, you know me. I look forward to this.
Well, it's good for us to have quality people here sharing your passion about Bulldogs or Wildcats, and we can share these kind of games with our people, whether they're here or they're in. I don't care whether they could be in Oklahoma, Texas, Nebraska, California, Houston. They can be watching and enjoying this broadcast, and I appreciate the work that you all do to make this all happen.
I just got an update. I can update you that HAR-BER is leading Southside 35-13. That game's at the half. So right now, good things in Springdale right now. The Bulldogs are going to get on the field here, get stretched out, and we'll be ready to start the second half. Hope we can talk again next week. Next week, the Alma Airedales will check in, and we'd like to catch up with you and catch up on some of the week's activities. Again, the Varsity Club, contact the athletics office, and we can get you set up there. Coach, thank you so much.
Thanks, Zach. Always a pleasure. We'll do it again next week.
Excellent. Thank you. That's Springdale Athletic Director Wayne Stellick. Second half is coming up. You're watching the Springdale Bulldogs on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Catering to the big moments, the little wins, the long talks, and the quick getaways. Because food this inviting is bound to add a lot of flavor to your life.
Introducing the Zack's Pack. Served with chicken fingers, sides, Texas toast, and iced tea. Pick one up for dinner or your next event. Friends, family, flavor. Zack's Beef, indescribably good.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be. For you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas.
Our halftime score, Conway 14, Springdale 13. Now for the halftime stats, brought to you by Athletic Connection. Leading rusher for the Bulldogs in the first half, Garrett Vaughn, 14 yards and 7 carries. Leading receiver, Kamon Robinson, he's got 2 catches for 54 yards. Lane tonight got off to kind of a slow start, but has picked it up a little bit, 7 out of 13, 104 yards. He does have the one touchdown pass to Jaden Cornelius. And Carlos, I know you've been scouring the internet. You've got some scores from around the 7A.
I do, and as you already mentioned, HAR-BER over Southside right now at the half, 35-13. What I saw, Grant Allen having a big night already, 243, 11 of 16 in the passing department. Bentonville, Rockhurst right now, they're down 21-8. Fayetteville playing Blue Springs, Missouri, they're leading 13-9 at halftime. Bentonville West and Pryor 21-6 at the half with Bentonville West leading Rogers visiting Siloam. Siloam up 27-14 at half.
That's a shocker.
That is, and so is Little Rock Central leading Heritage 16-6 at halftime.
So those are some scores from around the 7A. Again, the stats and scores brought to you by Athletic Connection. And Carlos, as we get set to start the second half, let's talk about what we saw in the first half and then what we expect here. I think we both agree that the defense for Springdale, minus the last drive here, played pretty well.
They did, and like I told you during halftime there, before the break, you prep all week for a team, expecting them to run something, and then all of a sudden they come out with that tempo. You're not ready for it. Springdale wasn't ready for Conway's tempo offense, but I think if it comes down to it, they will definitely make those adjustments, or have made those adjustments actually already during halftime, and we'll get ready to see them.
Springdale offensively, not so good in the first half, or first quarter. Second quarter was very, very good. They scored the 2 touchdowns. The passing game has sort of gotten it going, but the running game still sort of sputtering. 11 carries for 25 yards. We talked about the bigs and how Springdale needed to run the football. Thus far, not so effective. But it's a 4-quarter game. You start to wear some folks down. Maybe you get maybe you pop a couple.
Yeah, and I think like I said at the beginning of the game, one of the keys to the game is going to be those front 5 for Springdale. Pushing Conway's defensive line. It does look like Conway actually has been running a 3-4 up front and getting some kind of pressure back there, but give it up to the big guys up front when it comes to the passing department. They have given Lane quite a bit of time to throw.
One of your keys to the game was turnovers. Springdale -1 in the first half. The fumble by Alex Thompson on the punt led to the first score, a 2-yard run by Giovanni Johnson, and that that's one of those areas that you can't really hide the turnover margin. If you're losing the turnover margin by 2 or 3, if it's multiple, it can really come back to haunt you. But looks like we're about ready to get the second half started. Springdale's going to get the football first, and I look for this is one of those games within the game. You start to look for the adjustments that Coach Clark made, as we mentioned a couple of times. Last year in this game, Springdale came out in the third quarter hitting on all cylinders, took the control of the game, and ultimately went on to a 37-30 win. So we're about set for the second half. Jordan Wicks will come out to kick it off. Again, the kickoffs are brought to you by the Varsity Club. It's connecting after competition. I want to thank Coach Wayne Stellick for stopping by, chatting with us about the Varsity Club and other things going on here at Springdale High School. So here we go. We're ready to go. Second half about to get underway. Wicks kickoff, high end over end. It's going to be taken at the 4-yard line. And the football is loose. Springdale's going to get back on it. It's Capone Wise on the return.
Looks to be Daryl Parchman there on the recovery for Springdale.
A little bit of a miscommunication there between Parchman and Capone. Capone takes it. And Springdale's going to set up shop at the 20. We'll see what Coach Clark has dialed up here in the halftime break, what they've talked about. Will Mueller's going to check in at the quarterback spot. So that's one change that we're seeing. Garrett Vaughn's the running back. Jaden Cornelius being at that flex tight end spot. You got Kamon and Alex along with Riley Totten. So Will in the game for the first time. This is Cornelius. Going to hand to Garrett straight ahead. Garrett finds a little bit of a seam. He'll get up over the 25. Good first play of the second half. So Coach Clark had told me several times that Will was going to get a series or 2 here, and he elects to start Will here in the second half.
Looks like Springdale's now running their version of tempo back to the line of scrimmage really quick.
This is something they worked on during August. It was going just a little bit quicker than they normally do. Here's Will. He's going to throw. Looking for Kamon. Kamon at the 35. He's going to get up over the 35. It'll be first down Springdale. So change of quarterbacks is going to get the first down on the first throw of the second half. Complete to Kamon for 10 yards. Springdale gets first down.
Logan White there on the stop. Logan White seemed to be a little shaken up there at the end of that play.
Just underway here, third quarter. Garrett behind Will in the pistol. It's Cornelius in motion. Will takes, hands to Garrett. Garrett's got a little room to the outside. Garrett Vaughn makes a move across the 50 into Conway territory, and he's going to go out of bounds. And we've got a flag on the play. I think they're going to get a late hit on the far side, so Springdale gets not only the play but the penalty yardage. That's
going to put there by Garrett.
Yeah, that's the first big run that we've seen from Springdale. You tack on 15 more yards, and Springdale's in business.
They are. And, of course, that run doesn't start with anyone else but that front five there.
So they're going to march off the penalty from the 37. It's going to put the football at the 22-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. And that's like the 4th personal foul that Conway has come up with here in the ball game. Not something that you don't normally see from a Clint Ashcraft team. So Will throw. He's got a man right down the middle. Jaden Cornelius into the end zone. Touchdown, Springdale! Mueller to Jaden Cornelius from 22 yards, and the Bulldogs go back on top.
That was a quick scoring drive coming out of the half. Only took about a minute, let's say about 20 seconds there to score there, Zach. Great job by the Bulldogs.
So Jaden Cornelius, without a touchdown pass or touchdown reception last year, has 2 in the opener tonight. The Bulldogs go back on top 19-14. Jesus Barroso in to try the extra point. Snaps a little low, kick is blocked.
And that's our guy for Conway, Will Kennedy, number 9, getting around the edge to block that kick.
So our new score, Springdale 19, Conway 14. We'll be right back. You're watching Springdale Bulldog football on the Bulldog Sports Network.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be. For you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas.
The Springdale scoring drive goes 4 plays, 80 yards. As always, scoring drives brought to you by First Security National Bank. So Springdale answers very quickly out of the break. 4 plays, 80 yards. 22-yard pass from Will Mueller to Jaden Cornelius, and here's Jesus Barroso to kick off. Good driving kick. It's going to go over the head of Clark and into the end zone. And Conway will take over at the 20-yard line. So, we had talked about Springdale coming out and kind of setting the tone here in the second half, and they sure have now. It's up to the defense to keep that momentum going.
And I think now that the offense has got, a stable rhythm going there with that scoring drive, I think the defense is going to step up here big, possibly start Conway off with a 3 and out, but we'll see. Conway's been feisty. They haven't backed down from the Springdale defense yet.
Rio will check in at the quarterback spot. Michael George is the running back. Here's Rio to throw. Quick pass. It's Nick Richmond going to pick it up off the turf, and they're going to say that pass was incomplete. Check that. That was intended for Dantes Hammonds. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10. I'm a little surprised with the success that they had on that last drive that maybe they're not picking the pace up just a little bit. They were so successful using it, and now, it's back to the pace that they used for most of the first half.
I know with teams like Conway that I've seen, if they're not a true tempo team, they won't keep that tempo going very long because I know as an offensive lineman, you don't want to run that for long.
Rio will throw. Got time, going to take it, jug it deep. And he's going to overshoot his intended receiver. That's Nick Richmond, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long. So that Bulldog pass rush can pin their ears back and get after Rhea.
Good job by Capone and Duan back on coverage.
Capone out with an injury for most of the first half, returned just at the end. And good to see him back out there. He's one of Springdale's lockdown corners. He's actually playing in at a safety spot right now. So 3rd and 10, Rhea the quarterback. Rhea on the night. Right now, 10 for 17, 128 yards. And he'll throw again. Rhea. Got a man on the far side. That's Kennedy still going. And he's going to get out of bounds up near the 40-yard line. It's going to be a first down for Conway.
Rhea took a shot there by Isaiah Nichols right as the pass was getting let go. But great job by Conway to convert that.
Ball's going to be marked at the 41-yard line. 21-yard pickup on 3rd and 10. It'll be enough for Conway first down. 10:20 to go here, third quarter, 19-14 our score. Glad you're with us here on the Bulldog Sports Network. Carlos Trevino over there. I'm Zach Arns. Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium, Springdale, Arkansas. This is George. George going to get into Springdale territory down near the 41-yard line. That's his longest run of the night.
Looked to be number 55, Harrison Vasquez, back there for the stop, along with Sebastian Barranco. Good to see the defensive lineman moving, getting back there, even if it is past them and the second level.
17 yards on the play for George. And they got Springdale to jump, so it's going to be a 5-yard walk-off against the Bulldogs. It's going to bring up 1st and 5. If you're just joining us, it was kind of a slow start for both teams. Scoreless in the first quarter, 27 points between the two teams in the third quarter. Springdale gets the ball one time in the third, comes up with 6, and now Conway looking for the answer. Dual running backs, Rhea in the shotgun. It's George and Clark in the backfield. Mason Hutchins showing blitz for the Red Dogs. This is Rhea, under pressure. Going to tuck it and run, and he's going to get out of bounds. He's going to get a couple on the play.
Looked to be number 87.
Jace Carey, the judge. Actually going to give him a 1-yard loss, so Jace going to get credited with a sack. Bring up second down, 6 yards to go. 9:39 to go, third quarter, 19-14 the score. Good ball game between these two. This is the third year in a row that these teams have met. This is Rhea with Clark and George beside him. This is Clark on the counter, breaks a tackle, and he is going to be brought down there. Mason Hutchins on the tackle, and we've got a flag down. We'll see what the penalty is.
Harrison Vasquez did a great job getting back there to begin with, but just didn't manage to wrap up in time.
It's like a personal foul against Springdale. That's going to put the ball at the 18-yard line. As Conway enters the Storm's orthodontics red zone. It'll be 1st and 10, ball at the 18. 9:22 to go, third quarter. 19-14 our score. Rhea in the pistol, that's George behind him. This is George. He's going to be tracked down. Middle of that Springdale defense right there. Trey Tolbert among the Red Dogs on the stop. He's going to get a couple out of the play. It's going to bring up second down.
I know I've been saying his name the past few plays, but Harrison Vasquez, again, back there is the first one to hit George in the backfield before gaining those couple yards.
2-yard pickup on the play. Springdale sticking to that 4-man front. They experimented a little bit in the preseason with a 3-man front, but it's been primarily a 4-down front for Springdale tonight. This is Rhea. He'll throw. Rhea looking for Thomas in the corner. That ball's over his head, and it'll be incomplete, and it'll bring up third down. You know, Springdale's done very well on first and second downs. It's been third downs, which have been kind of the bugaboo for the Bulldogs. They've given up some big third down conversions. Conway just 3 out of 8, but those 3 have been pretty crucial, including the last one where they picked up 21 yards on 3rd and 10. So 8:29 to go, third quarter, third down, 8, ball resting at the 16-yard line. They're going to try that reverse again. And it's a pass. This is McKenna, and he throws a wounded duck into the corner. Springdale had that one pretty well diagnosed. Juwan was on the coverage out there. Not sure why you go to that play on 3rd and 8. You've had success in just with your conventional passing game.
I mean, sometimes teams got to go to trickery to see if they can't get a quick one on you. And none other than, of course, that dude, Isaiah Nichols, back there to disrupt that play very quickly.
So Jordan Wicks will come in to try the field goal. Be a 33-yard attempt. Snap is down. Kick's on the way. And it is good. So our new score, with 8:18 to go in the 3rd quarter, Springdale's 19, Conway 17. You're watching Springdale Bulldog football on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Hometown. That word still means something here. It means we're neighbors. We do the right thing. We care about your family. And you deserve the very best every time you walk in the front door. HAR-BER. Hometown fresh.
And we welcome you back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. That scoring drive for Conway, 10 plays, 67 yards. All scoring drives this season brought to you by First Security National Bank. So Jordan Wicks will get set to kick off. Back deep for the Bulldogs. You got Larry Calamise. You got Parchman back there as well as Juwan Boyd. So you got 3 young guys back there, 3 sophomores, but all very talented, all very dangerous. Wicks' kickoff is high. It's going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. And good return there on the far side. That was Juwan.
Good return there by Juwan. Almost took a little bit of miscommunication by Juwan and Darrell there, but turned out to be up to the 29 for Springdale with their start.
Juwan, a very talented wide receiver in his previous days. He is electric with the football. So he's a guy that you certainly want. You certainly want the football in his hands. If you can get it to him, Lane's going to check back in at the quarterback spot. Let's see if Springdale can keep up the momentum here. 8:12 to go, 3rd quarter. Springdale leads by 2, 19-17.
I like this matchup down here. Came on Banks down here in the corner.
Conway showing blitz. Here comes Garrett up the middle. He's going to get up near the 40-yard line, very close to first down yardage. You know, last year when Garrett first kind of burst onto the scene, we talked about him being like a bar of soap. He was just kind of hard to get a hold of. Garrett's put on some weight here in the offseason, and he's added a little bit of a power game to him, and you'll probably see him running more between the tackles this year than we did last year. So it's enough for a first down up to the 39-yard line. Springdale run game kind of getting going here. Here's Lane, quick hitter, and that's going nowhere. Blown up there by Washington on the far side. Was Riley Totten on the reception. No gain on the play.
That Conway defense definitely stepped up there.
Well, they're just begging for a play-action pass to go deep, aren't they? I mean, they are really, really aggressive to the football. You got to give Conway credit. I mean, we outweigh them by about 30 pounds a man on the front on both offensive and defensive lines, and they've really kind of held their own here. Here comes Lane. Has a pass batted around, and it's intercepted. Logan White with the interception.
Good awareness by Logan there to just look up as that ball was tipped in the air. And there is a flag. They're late.
We'll have to wait and see what the flag is. Personal foul against Springdale. That 15-yard penalty will be marched off against Springdale. It's going to set Conway up inside the 25-yard line. And, you know, you talked about the turnover game. Springdale now -2. Ball at the 24 of the Red Dogs. So 1st and 10. Rhea, the quarterback, takes and hands to Clark. Clark straight ahead. He's not going to get much. Isaiah, Christian Wise, and Trey Tolbert there. Give him about, we'll call it 2 down to the 22-yard line. Springdale run defense has been pretty good tonight.
They have. Conway's broken a couple on this Springdale defense, but not very much. It's only been 1, maybe 2 yards time.
21 carries for 54 yards as Giovanni Johnson checks in. He's going to throw. Johnson nearly intercepted on the far side. It's Casey Medina. That was dangerous. That ball's up a little bit higher. Casey's going the other way. So it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Number 55, Harrison Vasquez down.
We've got a Bulldog down. We're going to take a quick timeout. You're watching Springdale Bulldog football on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett with Everett Chevrolet. You've heard me say we have a better way to buy your new Chevy. If you've not been here to find out what that means, I want to invite you to come see us. You'll love the way we do business. And you can shop our great selection of the North American Truck of the Year, the Chevy Silverado, with the best V8 fuel economy of any full-size truck. Family owned, customer friendly, Everett Chevrolet in Springdale, I-49 at Elm Springs Road.
We came to Arvest Bank to see what makes it different.
It's a community bank that really reaches out to the customers to make them feel special. I feel special every time I come in here.
They want to be involved in the community and want to be part of the community.
They support our university, our athletic department.
They've told us that they could have a fleet of volunteers there to help this year if we needed.
I see them at a lot of our Hispanic community events that we do.
I can't think of another bank in the city that has such a big community presence as Arvest.
Arvest Bank, our customers say it best.
Athletics in Springdale has been producing winners since 1910. Our coaches do a tremendous job connecting our students to our schools. We are one community.
And we welcome you back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. Looks like Harrison Vasquez with a cramp ran off the field under his own power. So we pick it up 3rd down, 6:44 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 19-17 the score. Rhea, the quarterback. Springdale shows blitz, and here they come. Rhea. Pass is complete. Football's loose. And I think Springdale has the football.
I know, look, Conway came up with it, but refs were saying something different there for a second. So we'll see how they go.
We wait. It looks like Conway's going to come up with a football, and it's really close to a 1st down. I think they're going to have to take a look at this.
They're giving him that 1st down.
They gave him the 1st down, so they're going to mark the ball to 19. That'll be enough for a 1st down.
Good play by Christian Wise to be there, knock that ball out.
So 1st down, ball at the 19-yard line. Conway in the Storm's orthodontics red zone. This is Rhea, hands to Clark. Straight ahead, he's going to get maybe a yard and a half out of that. Not much. Isaiah there to make the stop.
Springdale looks as if with Vasquez out, they moved to that 3 front that we were talking about earlier. So far, it seems to be effective for Springdale.
So 2nd down. Ball at the 18. This is Rhea to throw. Under pressure. Springdale is there.
There we go. That defensive front line, number 87.
That's Jace Carey, the judge. The judge with the sack.
Carey definitely got back there in a hurry. didn't let Rhea get any time whatsoever and got that sack.
So Jace with his second sack of the night, and that's going to push Conway way back to the 32-yard line. Nice play there by Jace, and a much-needed play by the Springdale defense to kind of push Conway back. Wicks is a very, very good kicker. Brings up 3rd and 27. This is Rhea to throw. Ball's out into the flats, and nice play there by Corneliuson to get the receiver down to the ground. That was number 16, Joe Thomas. Ball's going to be placed at the 26. It's going to bring up 4th down and country mile. We'll see what Conway wants to do. 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Conway looks to be bringing on the field goal unit here.
So Jordan Wicks will check in.
We got a 44-yard try here.
Snaps down, kicks on the way. It's got enough distance. And it is no good. So the Springdale defense with the hold. Thanks to the judge, Jace Carey.
That Springdale defense stood tall, did not give up any ground there once they hit the red zone. Carey with that huge sack to get Wicks just out of his range. Hooked it wide right. Great job of the Springdale defense there.
So that Springdale defense stands tall again. Now they give the ball back to the offense. The offense kind of a mixed bag here in the 3rd quarter. 1 touchdown, 1 turnover.
Looks as Springdale's going with an empty set here to start out.
Lane alone in the backfield. He'll throw. Going to take it, throws it deep down the middle. He's got a man wide open. Alex Thompson into Conway territory. Great pitch and catch from 17 to 19. Springdale's in business.
That front 5 for Springdale gave Lane a lot of time to sit back there and let Alex get open for that catch.
What a fantastic catch by Alex, adjusting his body to the football. Nice play by the 2 seniors. 35 yards on the connection. Springdale 1st and 10. Ball at the 45-yard line. 3:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. Lane in the shotgun. Play clock now at 5. Lane will throw again. Got a man open. Alex just overthrew him. Alex running the corner route. They had a little smash corner going, and Lane just overshot him. Kind of feel those two are starting to get in sync and getting a little mojo working. We'll bring up 2nd down. 10 yards to go. Ball on the 45-yard line. 3:19 to go, 3rd quarter. 19-17 our score. Glad you're with us here on the Bulldog Sports Network. He's Carlos. I'm Zach. We'll be here for every game of the 2017 Bulldog season. Garrett, the running back. You got Lane in the pistol. That's Jaden Cornelius in motion. Lane will take and hand to Garrett. Garrett looking to get to the outside. He's going to get a couple out of that. He'll turn something into nothing. He's going to get about 4 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
Nice outside run there by the Bulldogs.
They're going to give him the 40-yard line, so a 5-yard pickup. Looked like Conway had that defended pretty well on the outside. Garrett just turning on the jets to get to the outside and get what he could. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5. The Bulldogs tonight on 3rd down. After kind of a rocky start on 3rd down, now 3 of 6. Lane will throw. Conway on the blitz. They're going to take it, throw it deep for Kamon. Kamon, and we're going to get an interference call.
Zach, I almost feel like with the way this offensive line is protecting Lane, I could stand back there and throw that ball.
Well, now hang on. You and I, a little bit older now.
Well,
we're a little bit older. The brain says you can do it. The body's like, hey, no.
I can't argue with you on that. Granted, I might be just a little bit younger than you here, Zach, so who knows? I might be able to sling that one still with that much time, but I agree. This offensive line, though, is giving Lane a lot of time to sit back there and read this defense.
So the penalty, a interference call against Conway. It'll give Springdale a 1st down at the 25-yard line. This is Cornelius in motion. Going to take it, give it to Garrett. Nice quick hitter there. Is going to get a couple yards. Springdale keeps the clock and the chains moving. And you kind of feel like that Springdale offense is starting to get some rhythm to them.
Takes just a little bit during that first game to get your feet under you, get all those, preseason jitters out, live action hitting. But it looks like this Springdale offense is rolling now.
Brings up 2nd and 7, ball to 22. 2:40 to go, clock moving. Lane takes and gives to Garrett. And we've got a penalty down. Nice play there by Grant Fulsifer, the Conway linebacker, to stop the run. We're going to give Garrett no gain, but we'll wait and see what the penalty is. Looks like a hold against Springdale.
Penalties like this, Zach, can be a killer on a drive. Your momentum's all going forward, and all of a sudden you get a holding penalty or something like a false start. You move backwards just a little, and that could be a drive killer.
Just a reminder, after the game, we'll have the post-game show. The post-game stats will be brought to you by Zaxby's. I want to thank them for the pregame grub today. Love Zaxby's. It was good.
It was.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 17. Ball's going to be at the 32. Lane in the shotgun. He's got Garrett with him. Lane. It's going to be intercepted. And so Springdale's going to turn it over for the 3rd time.
Looks as if there's a couple guys down here.
Looks like we got a player down on the Springdale sidelines while the trainers tend to him. We're going to take a quick timeout. You're watching Springdale Bulldog football on the Bulldog Sports Network.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be for you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
Outstanding customer service, that's the Everett difference.
The best selection you'll find anywhere, that's the Everett difference.
Family owned and operated, that's the Everett difference.
Professionals who put you first, that's the Everett difference.
The best car buying experience we ever had.
That's the Everett difference.
Come see us and discover the Everett difference during Ram Power Days right now at Everett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Fiat.
Athletics in Springdale has been producing winners since 1910. Our coaches do a tremendous job connecting our students to our schools. We are one community.
The injured Wampus cat was number 10, Roman Aaron. He was also the young man that intercepted the Lane Hutchins pass. So to reset as Aaron walks off under his own power. 2:06 to go here, third quarter, 19-17 our score. It's going to be 1st and 10. Conway with the ball at the 43-yard line.
It's good to see Roman get up and walk up off under his own power.
Yeah, he got down near the Springdale bench when he got knocked out of bounds, and that's always dangerous territory with bodies and equipment over there.
I will tell you what, in my years of playing here at Jarrell Williams, these sidelines are super close to the field. You don't understand, people watching may not understand how close this actually is.
So Giovanni Johnson's going to check in at the quarterback spot. This is Johnson. He's got a little bit of a crease, and he's going to be knocked down there by Trey Tolbert. get up near the 49-yard line. It'll be second down for Conway. Springdale committing its third turnover of the night. You talked about the turnover margin. We're getting into that dangerous territory where some of these things haven't quite bit them yet, but you're playing with fire with turnovers. This is Johnson again. He's got first down yardage. Into Springdale territory goes Giovanni Johnson. The ball's going to be marked at the 43 of Springdale, and it's going to be a first down Conway.
Look to be Christian Wise there on the stop for Springdale. Springdale now back out to a 4 front. They were running that 3 front earlier. Looks to be number 72, Harrison Morgan, checked into the ball game.
Ria's checked back in at the quarterback spot. This is George on the carry. Tolbert's there. Mason Hutchins there. He's going to get a couple yards out of it. Ball's going to be marked at the 39, so we'll call it 4 on the pickup. It's second down, 6 yards to go.
You can definitely see when the Springdale defense has that 4 front down. Conway's not getting a whole lot of rushing yards. That front 7 bearing down, not letting Conway get anything.
Giovanni Johnson's checked back in at the quarterback spot. And he'll throw. Quick out. Ball's going to go incomplete, and it's going to bring up third down. .20 seconds to go here, third quarter. Springdale leads by 2. Harrison Morgan, as you mentioned, is checked back in. He's moved into the tackle spot. Nathan Burkett's kicked to the outside in the spot that was occupied by Harrison Vasquez. This is going to be 3rd and 6. Ball at the 39. Conway 3 for 10 on third down conversions in the ballgame. Rhea will throw. Springdale shows blitz. Rhea's got time. And he's going to overshoot his man. Ball's going to go incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down. So it's decision time here for Clint Ashcraft. I got to imagine the way his defense is playing, the way that they have been able to turn Springdale over, you may take a shot here, 4th and 6.
May take a shot, but...
Yeah. And as I say that, here comes the punt team. But this is where you accurately pointed out, you've got your backup quarterback right now in at the up back spot.
And I will definitely say right here, with it being about 4th and 5, 4th and 6, watch Giovanni. He may get that ball for a sneak.
Snaps a little low. Fulsifer, it's a knuckleball. It's going to bounce at the 10-yard line and go into the end zone. So Springdale, you got to give their defense a lot of credit. They've been put in some bad spots here in the third quarter, and the defense has risen to the challenge.
They have, and it's all started up with that front 7 of Springdale's defense.
Give them a lot of credit. 26 carries tonight for Conway, 59 yards. I don't care what league you play in, that's getting it done.
That is.
So Will's going to check in at the quarterback spot. Will was in on the first drive of the third quarter. We've got 6 seconds to go. In the quarter, our score 19-17. Will's got Garrett with him. Will, quick throw. Got Alex Thompson in and out of his hands. And the clock's going to stop with 1 second left.
Good coverage there by Cole Hoover.
So to bring up 2nd and 10. 1 tick of the clock left here in the third quarter. Springdale leads by 2. It's been kind of the game we expected, kind of back and forth, nip and tuck. It's going to be, somebody's going to make a mistake here in the fourth quarter, and somebody's going to capitalize and wind up winning this football game. Here's Will. Got the screen set up. Here comes Kamon. Kamon out to the 30. Nice stiff arm to the 35, to the 40. He's going to be bumped out of bounds. And that's going to be enough for Springdale first down.
Great pickup by Kamon there and setting up that screen. Springdale will have good field position to start out this fourth quarter.
As Carlos mentioned, that's the end of the third quarter. Our score, Springdale 19, Conway 17. We'll be back. You're watching the Springdale Bulldogs on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Outstanding customer service. That's the Everett difference.
The best selection you'll find anywhere. That's the Everett difference.
Family owned and operated, that's the Everett difference.
Professionals who put you first. That's the Everett difference.
The best car buying experience I've ever had. That's the Everett difference.
Come see us and discover the Everett difference during Ram Power Days right now at Everett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Fiat.
And we welcome you back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium as we start the fourth quarter. Our score 19-17. It'll be 1st and 10 for Springdale. Ball's resting at the 42-yard line. He's Carlos Trevino. I'm Zach Arns. Glad to have you here from beautiful Springdale, Arkansas. Gorgeous night for football. Springdale opening their 2017 regular season. And we've got pretty much the game we expected, a nip and tuck affair. It has been physical. It has been explosive, and now we get 12 minutes to see who wants to start their season off with a victory. Will Mueller in at quarterback. Garrett Vaughn is the running back. You got stacked wide receivers, top and bottom. Will with the fake. Quick hitter. Here comes Kamon. Kamon's going to step out of bounds. He gets a couple. Kamon's starting to put together a pretty good night.
Looks like Springdale's offense is starting to roll here as the end of the third quarter and fourth quarter starts.
Kamon now 5 catches, 91 yards. You remember he had 145 in the playoff game against Bryant. That was kind of his coming out party.
Quick score update. Springdale Har-BER leads at the end of the third quarter, 48-20 over Southside.
Will to throw. Stands in the pocket, ball's knocked away, and I think Kamon came up with it.
They're saying
he sure
Kamon
did. Great play and adjustment by Kamon. Will hung in there. Gets the ball to the most dangerous of the Springdale receivers. Ball's going to be marked at the 40.
Will took a shot there by number 99, Kane Aaron. But great way to get rid of that ball, and Kamon just with great response to catch that ball.
So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball at the 40-yard line. Got Will. You got Garrett in the backfield. Will, quick throw. He's got Riley Totten on the screen. Riley going to fight for what he can, and, you know, he's going to keep fighting, and we'll see where they mark him down. But Riley with his second catch on the night. Ball's going to be marked at the 42-yard line. So a 3-yard pickup.
Riley looked like as if he was using Will Kennedy's body against him just as a leverage on the ground just to keep moving his feet.
Correct myself, ball's marked at the 37. There's Will to throw. Got Kamon on the screen. And Kamon's going to get down inside the 35-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down for the Bulldogs.
Kane Aaron there with the chase down, number 99 for Conway.
It's 3rd down 4. Coming up on 10 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the ballgame. Springdale leads by 2. This drive, 6 plays, 46 yards for the Red Dogs. 3 wide receivers. You got Riley and Alex to the top, came on to the bottom. It's Jaden in motion. Will takes and hands to Garrett Vaughn. Garrett's going to be short of the 1st down. The line to make was about the 30.
So if Zack Clark, what do you do here in this situation? Just outside of field goal range, it seems. Do you go for it?
I think here come the big boys. I see 93 heading in. Here comes Lane. And it looks like they're going to go. Play clock's down to 7. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. They're going to have to hurry here. They get the snap off. Here comes Lane. And he's going to be met in the backfield by Matt Lloyd. And Conway's going to take over.
Good play there by Conway's defense. Just to diagnose and read that play.
It's going to wind up being a 5-yard loss back to the 36-yard line. That's where Conway will take over. And once again, Springdale calls on their defense. They lead by 2. 9:29 to go, fourth quarter. It's been a back and forth seesaw affair. Andrew Rhea is checked back in at the quarterback spot for Conway. This is George, and he is met in the backfield. Well, George did a nice job to get free. He winds up getting about 7 yards out of that. Springdale had him in the backfield, just couldn't wrap him up.
George Emler did a great job to keep moving his feet. Did not stop after the initial hit by Isaiah Nichols. But George just moved his feet, would not go down easy.
Ball's going to be marked at the 41-yard line. Clock running. Under 9 minutes to go in the game.
Quick score update. Bentonville West leads Pryor, Oklahoma 49-6 at the end of 3.
Wow. Statement game for the Wolverines. This is Rhea. Takes and gives to George. George is going to get first down yardage up to the 47.
Another good run there by George.
That'll stop the clock momentarily while they set the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 Conway.
Another quick score update at the end of 3. An upset by some of those that follow Arkansas football. Fayetteville down 17-13 to Blue Springs.
Blue Springs is a good football team. Defending 7A state champions in trouble. This is George on the outside. He's going to get into Springdale territory. Start to see Conway starting to assert the running game a little bit. Ball's going to be marked at the 47 of Springdale. He gets 6 on first down. And that Conway running game starting to get going.
Looks as if number 72, Harrison Morgan, checked back in for the Springdale defensive line.
So 2nd and 4, ball at the 47. Rhea's the quarterback. He's got George behind him. Here comes George again, and Springdale collapses on him, and there is no room. Yeah, Christian Wise in there. Jace Carey's in there. Isaiah's in there. Nathan Burkett. I mean, you could start rattling off all 11 guys. So Springdale stands tall. They're going to mark him actually at the 48, so it'll be a 1-yard loss. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
This is where Springdale's defense needs to pin their ears back and just get after the quarterback here.
Conway 3 out of 11 on 3rd down conversions. Rhea still the quarterback. 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Springdale by 2. This is Rhea with a throw. He finds Richmond. He's got, depending on the spot, I think they're going to give him the first down.
That's a close spot there. And they give it to him.
They're going to give it to him. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Conway.
Great job there by number 1, Dwan Boyd.
He didn't get that by much.
He did not.
He did not. Clock running. 6:35 to go in the ballgame. Springdale by 2. This is Rhea. Takes and gives to Clark. Clark's going to run right into Jace Carey. Hunter Corneliuson also there. Not much on the play, and it's going to bring up 2nd down.
Loss of 1, it seems, there on the play, Zach.
Nice play there by Jason Hunter. It's going to bring up 2nd and long.
Springdale looks to be moving back out into that. Oh, never mind.
Here comes Harrison Morgan back into the game. They've had a lot of success with that 4 down, getting pressure. Springdale calling on their defense one more time. Rhea, the quarterback's got Clark behind him. Rhea will throw. Jace with the pressure. He's got a man wide open down the middle. Ball's caught and dropped. Vaughn Lacey on the coverage, so the Springdale defense catches a break.
Looked to be the tight end, number 5, Chris Anderson there, that had the ball in his hands and just slips out right as he falls to the ground. We do have an injured Bulldog down, number 27, Capone Wise.
That looks like it's going to be a cramp while they attend to him. We'll take a quick timeout. 19-17 our score, 5:42 to go in the ball game. You're watching the Springdale Bulldogs on the Bulldog Sports Network.
You can love where you live and play at an apartment community managed by Lindsay Management Company. Affordable apartments with awesome amenities, including clubhouses, fitness centers, pools, tennis and basketball courts, and playgrounds at select locations. Many locations also include golf privileges, business centers, game rooms, tanning beds, whirlpools, saunas, and resort-style swimming pools. View rates, photos, and apply online at lindsaymanagement.com.
Hometown. That word still means something here. It means we're neighbors. We do the right thing. We care about your family. And you deserve the very best every time you walk in the front door. HAR-BER. Hometown fresh.
Capone Wise walked off under his own power. It looked to be a cramp. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 11. Rhea in the quarterback spot. He will throw. Springdale bringing pressure. That's Isaiah. And he's got a man wide open, and he missed him.
Great pressure there by Isaiah.
He's been a one-man wrecking crew. It looks like Isaiah's down. So I think we're starting to see guys cramp up here towards the end of the game. We've seen a couple of guys, and I think Isaiah's got one. And we were talking about that during the break. I mean, if you've ever had one of those cramps, it just feels like somebody has stuck a knife in your calf. That's the only way I can describe it. It's a very, very uncomfortable feeling. But when Isaiah gets up and heads towards the sidelines, it'll bring up 4th and 11. This is kind of an interesting situation here for Conway. 5:40 to go in the game. You got all 3 timeouts left. You know, do you maybe take a shot here? I mean, you've pretty much controlled Springdale's offense. But do you take that chance near midfield?
I think if you're Conway, you just kind of see what you can get here. Maybe pin Springdale back just a little bit. But I'll tell you what, Springdale's definitely in their offensive possessions have killed time off the clock, even if it doesn't seem like they've held the ball very long. They've knocked off 3-4 minutes at a time. So we'll see what Conway decides here, whether they decide to punt it, maybe pin them down inside the 10, or if they go for it and give Springdale great field position.
The Springdale running game has actually been fairly productive. 18 carries on the night, 74 yards, 217 through the air. They put up almost 300 yards total offense, but the thing that has just come back to haunt them again and again and again are those 3 turnovers. And it looks like Conway will punt.
But again, you always got to be careful with Giovanni Johnson back
this
there.
This is just one of those things where you just play punt safe and you make sure he kicks the football. Punt's in the air, heading for the sidelines, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 10-yard line. And that will be where Springdale will take over with 5:31 to go in the 4th quarter. Springdale leading by 2. So if you're Coach Zack Clark here, you've had 2 quarterbacks in the game. You've had kind of mixed results with both. He's going to send Lane Hutchins, the senior, out. And for the first time on the offensive end, we're going to see Jarrell Parchman. If you haven't had a chance to watch this young man, he's electric.
He's something else that we definitely got the privilege to watch in the scrimmage versus Shiloh.
So Lane will check in at the quarterback spot. You got Parchman and Garrett Vaughn in the backfield. Came on to the top of the screen. You got Alex and Jaden to the bottom. Lane's going to throw. Good protection. It looks like Kamon fell down, and looks like he may have a cramp.
I know from my years of playing, it definitely seems that cramps are becoming an issue here for Springdale. And I do know coming out of fall camp, going into that first game, you're so used to chugging water that now that the nights and days are starting to get cooler, you may not drink as much, but the heat's still there, and the cramps are even worse.
Well, while they attend to Kmon, we'll take a quick timeout. You're watching Springdale Bulldog football on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Outstanding customer service. That's the Everett difference.
The best selection you'll find anywhere. That's the Everett difference.
Family owned and operated, that's the Everett difference.
Professionals who put you first, that's the Everett difference.
The best car buying experience I've ever had, that's the Everett difference.
Come see us and discover the Everett difference during Ram Power Days right now at Everett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Fiat.
Athletics in Springdale has been producing winners since 1910. Our coaches do a tremendous job connecting our students to our schools. We are one community.
When accidents happen, our 30 minutes or less ER service pledge can mean less waiting and faster care. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge at Northwest Health System Bentonville and Springdale.
Catering to the big moments, the little wins, the long talks, and the quick getaways. Because food this inviting is bound to add a lot of flavor to your life.
Introducing the Zack's Pack. Serve with chicken fingers, sides, Texas toast, and iced tea. Pick one up for dinner or your next event. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be. For you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas.
Outstanding customer service. That's the Everett difference.
The best selection you'll find anywhere. That's the Everett difference.
Family owned and operated, that's the Everett difference.
Professionals who put you first, that's the Everett difference.
The best car buying experience we ever had.
That's the Everett difference.
Come see us and discover the Everett difference during Ram Power Days right now at Everett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Fiat.
Oh, this is it. With no words on it. I got on 2 chains. No, I ain't get it, boy. I'm dream chasing, but I ain't forget it, boy. Yeah, and she say I can get it, boy. This a hit and I'ma make a nigga feel it, boy. My soda range, my sweater saying and my campaign on 10. I like to keep ready for, but I'm really into her friend. House up in the hill. Got it off a coat. A Ventador, Lamborghini, condo off a Hear that yellow tape on the trizzy bass. 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 Hear that yellow bass. Hear that yellow bass. Bass, 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 bass. Hear that yellow tape on the trizzy. Do that.
So Kmon is up under his own power. Looks like a cramp. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10, 5:26 to go in the fourth quarter. Riley Totten has come in along with Alex Thompson. That's Jaden Cornelius in motion. Twin running backs, and here comes Garrett around the side. Garrett makes one guy miss, and he's going to get up near the 20-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down. Good run there by the Springdale junior.
Good holes there by the offensive line.
We're starting to see fatigue, cramps starting to be an issue here. I mean, it's a relatively humid night. It was in the 80s when the game started. So it's 3rd down, 3, 4:55 to go in the fourth quarter. Cornelius in motion. Lane will give to Garrett. He's not going to get there. Maybe a yard. So it's going to bring up 4th down. Springdale's going to have to punt.
It's almost one of those that you walk out there for the punt, see if you can't draw the defense off sides, kill a little bit more clock.
So Jesus Barroso will come in to punt. Back deep for Conway is Will Kennedy. Snap's good. Jesus gets the kick away. The knuckleball is going to hit at the 45. It's fielded by Kennedy at the 50. Conway's going to have great field position to start this drive with 3:52 to go in the game. Springdale going to have to rely on that defense one more time.
Great tackle there by number 40, Nathan Burkett. Looks as if Springdale's going to go with that 3 front that we were talking about earlier.
Harrison Vasquez is checked back in, and we've got, looks like a penalty flag.
Looks as if it was on Conway, and if Springdale's going to get the ball back.
Yeah, that was, I didn't even see the flag go down, did you?
I didn't either. It was way back here where where Kennedy was. May have been a late substitution there by Conway. I did catch that across field because that's where it looked to be where that was at. And Springdale gets a fresh set of downs with 3:43 left.
Wow, that's a huge break for the Bulldogs. We'll take it. Yeah. Well, I like breaks any way we can get them, but that is a huge, huge play for Springdale.
That is. And we got Cam back now on the field.
Yep, came on back in. He's at the bottom of the screen. It's 1st and 10, clock running, 3:37 to go in the ball game. 19-17 our score. Lane gives to Garrett. Garrett trying to get to the outside, turns north, and he's going to get a couple up over the 30-yard line.
Good run there by Garrett, getting to the outside, right around the tackles.
They'll give him 3 on the carry up to the 31. It'll bring up 2nd and 7. Again, more importantly, the clock running here with 3:09 to go in the fourth quarter. Garrett now 16 carries for 80 yards.
If you look there on the top of your screen, you look to have 2 one-on-one matchups.
Here comes Garrett trying to get inside. Busts through. Garrett's got 1st down yardage and still fighting. He's going to get up near the 45-yard line. Great run by Garrett Vaughn. 1st down Springdale.
Garrett would not go down easy whatsoever. He said, I'm going to keep moving. I'm getting more yards.
Ball's going to be placed at the 45-yard line, and Springdale can afford to take their time here. Clock running. 2:40 to go in the ball game.
That front line there for Springdale opening big holes for Garrett to get through.
Play clock, now it's 7. Lane to Garrett. And this time Conway's got it diagnosed, and they're going to stand him up. No gain on the play, and it looks like we're going to get a timeout. Conway will take the timeout. 19-17 our score, 2:14 to go in the ball game. You're watching the Springdale Bulldogs on the Bulldog Sports Network.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be for you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas.
And welcome back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. 2:14 to go in the ball game. 19-17 our score. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for Springdale at the 45-yard line. You got an update on the Fayetteville Blue Springs game.
Yes, I do. Fayetteville, with 4:20 left in the fourth quarter, takes the lead again, 19-17.
The 7A West putting a marker down in Blue Springs, Missouri tonight. Our situation, 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. 19-17 our score, 2:14 to go. Conway has 2 timeouts left, Springdale with 3. Lane's in the pistol, he's got Garrett behind him. Double tight end set, 2 wide receivers to the top of the screen. Here comes Garrett Vaughn. He's going to get a couple up to about the 48-yard line. He's going to bring up 3rd down.
That offensive line creating holes, but those linebackers are stepping up and filling them very quickly for Conway's defense.
You can see Conway sort of selling out to stop the run here. He's going to bring up 3rd down. Clock continuing to run, 1:50 in the game.
Another quick score update. Bentonville trails with 7:03 remaining in the game, 35-8 to Rockhurst.
Kansas City Rockhurst is a good football team. That is still shocking to hear that kind of score. But Springdale is going to take a timeout. They're going to talk it over. 1:33 to go in the ball game. When we come back, it'll be 3rd down and 8. You're watching the Springdale Bulldogs on the Bulldog Sports Network.
We came to Arvest Bank to see what makes it different.
It's a community bank that really reaches out to the customers to make them feel special. I feel special every time I come in here.
They want to be involved in the community and want to be part of the community.
They support our university, our athletic department.
They've told us that they could have a fleet of volunteers there to help this year if we needed.
I see them at a lot of our Hispanic community events that we do.
I can't think of another bank in the city that has such a big community presence as Arvest.
Arvest Bank, our customers say it best.
1:33 to go in the ball game. Springdale leads by 2. 3rd and 8 upcoming for the Springdale offense. You got an update on the Southside Har-BER game.
I do. With 4:24 left in the game, Southside pulls within 48-35 of Har-BER.
Southside Mavericks making their way back in that ball game. Har-BER, the #1 overall team in the state of Arkansas. But back to business here. 3rd and 8. Lane's in the backfield. He's got Garrett with him. He got stacked receivers at the bottom. Kamon. I believe that is Alex at the bottom. You got Riley, Jaden to the top. Lane to throw. Looking for Kamon down the middle. Ball's nearly intercepted, in and out of his hands. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's been our guy all night, number 9. Will Kennedy was there with the almost INT.
So Springdale's going to be forced to punt. Jesus Barroso will check in. Jesus with a great kick. He hits a missile fielded at the 5-yard line. Ball still on the ground. And the Springdale special teams comes up huge. What a great kick by Jesus Barroso.
Great kick by Jesus. Will just could not hang on to that ball as he backed in beside his own 10-yard line down to the 6. Springdale crowd's feeling this right now.
It's been we had 27 points scored in the second quarter, 9 since. And now with 1:16 to go in the ballgame, Springdale leads by 2. Conway will take over 1st and 10. Ball is marked at the 7.
Springdale going
Check
with
that, the 6, my bad.
Springdale going with that 3 front, trying to take away the pass.
Rhea, the quarterback. He's got Joe Thomas on the outside. He's going to get out to the 21-yard line.
Look to be Capone there on the stop.
15-yard pickup's going to be enough for a first down. 1:06 to go in the game. Springdale by 2. Rhea. Same play, other side, and
barely hung on to that ball, it seems.
They're going to give Thomas, they're going to give Thomas the reception. Ball's going to be placed at the 34-yard line. 13-yard pickup and a first down.
Well, we have a quick minute. Another score update. Rogers, final score, 34-33, comes back and beats Siloam.
And catches Siloam. They were down big there at halftime, but 51 seconds to go in the ball game. 1st and 10 for Conway. Ball at the 34. Rhea will throw. Blitz is on. He's got a little bit of a lane, and he's going to get up across the 40-yard line. Clock continuing to move now, 40 seconds.
Didn't quite pick up that first down, therefore clock still running. 35 seconds left on the clock now.
Down to 30 seconds. Rhea to throw again, under pressure. Isaiah nearly there, and finally the Red Dogs get there.
That front defensive line for Springdale has been giving these quarterbacks fits all night, whether it be Rhea, whether it be Johnson. Doesn't matter so far, and Springdale comes up big with the stop right here.
Harrison Vasquez comes up with the sack. It's just a 3-yard loss, but more importantly, it brings up 3rd down. 21 seconds to go in the ball game. Conway has 1 timeout left. You know, they've asked for pressure all night long from that Springdale defense. They've sort of relied on them over and over and over again to kind of bail out some of the miscues on the offense, but you got to give Isaiah credit. He was the first one there, and then Jace and Harrison cleaned him up. And now it sets up a big 3rd and 5 for this Red Dog defense.
It's definitely a big 3rd and 5 here for Conway. Not only Conway, but Springdale's defense as well needs to pin their ears back. Just 21 seconds left. Anything could happen. That much time left on the clock.
Total yards on the night. Springdale with 326 offensively. Conway with 295. Both teams real pass heavy. Springdale has gone over the 100-yard mark rushing the ball. They've run 25 times for 109 yards. And this is a huge play here for the Springdale defense. 21 seconds to go. They lead by 2. Rhea alone in the backfield. Double tight set. Springdale shows blitz and they back out. It's a screen. And he's got Thomas. He's going to go out of bounds at the 47-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down. 16 seconds to go in the ball game.
Ray, I think, got lucky there. Isaiah came around the corner untouched and almost cleaned Ray's clock there.
So it's 1st and 10, 16 seconds to go. You got to figure they're going to need probably 25 yards to give Wicks a reasonable shot here at a field goal. And they're going to have to do it quickly. Rhea back to pass. Under pressure. And he gets rid of the football, and we're going to get a penalty flag. We'll have to wait and see what that is.
Isaiah Nichols there with some pressure on Rhea.
Coach Clark pointing backwards. I think we're going to get a hold. They're going to call intentional grounding, excuse me. And maybe more importantly, that's loss of down, backs him up. So, you know, that dude didn't get the sack, but he causes a penalty and an incompletion and a loss of yard.
Yes, he did. And now instead of 2nd and 10, you're looking at 2nd and a country mile.
Yeah, that pushes them back 12 yards with 12 seconds to go in the ball game. That Springdale pass rush has been fantastic, and they're going to take a quick timeout. 19-17 our score, dozen seconds to go in the ball game. You're watching the Springdale Bulldogs on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Outstanding customer service. That's the Everett difference.
The best selection you'll find anywhere. That's the Everett difference.
Family owned and operated, that's the Everett difference.
Professionals who put you first, that's the Everett difference.
The best car buying experience we ever had.
That's the Everett difference.
Come see us and discover the Everett difference during Ram Power Days right now at Everett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Fiat.
Welcome back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. 12 seconds to go in the ballgame. 19-17 our score. The down and distance kind of irrelevant at this point. I mean, regardless, this play's got to be a big gainer for Conway. Then you got to get the timeout and get the field goal team on the field. For Springdale, you bat the ball down, you really give yourself a chance here to make things really difficult on Conway. So here we go, 12 seconds to go. Springdale trying to get pressure. Guess who? Isaiah gets there and get a ball up for grabs. Hits Richmond in the helmet.
Great coverage there by number 30,
Woo!
Casey Mendia.
Oh, man.
That bounce in the air gave my heart stopped for a second there, Zach.
Wow.
Man.
4 seconds to go in the ball game. 3rd and 23. This is it. You know, you're not getting a quick 25 yards and a field goal. It's take it and heave it as far as you can. If you're Springdale, bat it down. Knock the ball down. It's never easy.
It's not, and it looks as if Springdale puts Garrett Vaughn back there at safety.
Last play of the game. Rhea steps up. Clock is hit 0-0. Takes it and throws it. And it is intercepted, and the Bulldogs are going to win.
Wow. Great first game there for Springdale. And number 2, K-Mond, is there for the interception. Man.
What a fantastic end to a great night of football here in Springdale. K-Mond Robinson comes off the bench to intercept the pass at the buzzer. And the Springdale Bulldogs are going to go to 1-0 with a hard-fought 19-17 victory over the Conway Wampus Cats. We can exhale. It wasn't easy.
That wasn't. That was definitely a boxing match for the ages here to start week 1. 2-point win for the Bulldogs. I don't think you can ask for anything better than a W at home to start the season.
Conway's a good football team, and we know we're probably they'll probably get into the playoffs, and we may get a chance to see them again at some point. Just a great high school football game here in Springdale. Carlos and I will be back to wrap it up. You're watching the Springdale Bulldogs on the Bulldog Sports Network.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be for you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas.
We came to Arvest Bank to see what makes it different.
It's a community bank that really reaches out to the customers to make them feel special. I feel special every time I come in here.
They want to be involved in the community and want to be part of the community.
They support our university, our athletic department.
They've told us that they could have a fleet of volunteers.
Welcome back to Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium, where our final score, Springdale 19, Conway 17. The postgame show brought to you by Zaxby's. And let's just talk a little bit about this, because Springdale's a young football team, and they showed some grit tonight. They didn't play great. They'll be better next week, but, you know, the 3 turnovers, a lesser team probably would have folded. The defense, huge tonight.
That defense stood tall all night long. Only gave up 17 points. 14 of it came in the first
half. Yeah, and one they put the ball on the 2-yard line. 303 yards given up on that defense. That defense, I mean, they look at Coach Hobbs. He is excited, and they should be. I mean, this is a very young football team. You got a lot of young guys on this team, and they played really, really well when they had to. Springdale tonight on offense, 326 yards, 217 through the air. Penalties were a bit of an issue. Each team with 8. Springdale with 8 for 77. I'll tell you, the personal fouls for Conway were deadly. One of them leading directly to a Springdale score. Springdale tonight on the ground, 25 carries, 109 yards. That's a workmanlike effort. It wasn't easy. Conway's pretty good up front, and I think you got to give. I mean, if I'm giving a game ball to anybody, I think it's probably going to be Jaden Cornelius. Got his first 2 receiving touchdowns, 3 catches tonight for Jaden. 48 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 huge touchdowns, one from each of the quarterbacks, Will and Lane. And, you know, I think everybody here in Springdale can kind of exhale. 1-0. Alma comes to town next week. And, you know, right now, everything's great.
Everything is. And I think as a former Bulldog myself, I couldn't be any happier as an alumni. And, man, I told you during that break, when that ball hit, was bouncing there for a second, my heart stopped. I couldn't breathe. And I was like, please just hit the ground.
You see Coach Clark addressing the Bulldogs huddling up. They'll walk in front of the band, join the student section in the alma mater, and it's just a great night to be here in Springdale. The Bulldogs are going to go to 1-0. Carlos and I will be here next week, 6:30 for the pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. The Alma Airedales come to town out of the 5A West. It should be a great game. It always is. The last two have been kind of seesaw affairs, and we'll see what Coach Clark and the Bulldogs come up with for the Airedales next week. And just a couple of final thoughts here. Your first broadcast here in the penthouse that is Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. Did a heck of a job, and I'm looking forward to it next week.
Be a pleasure to come back. Definitely, like I said, different from being on the field to now up here in this press box that's been remodeled since I was here.
It has been it's been a great night here in Springdale for Carlos, for our entire Bulldog Sports Network crew, including Seth, who was on the director's chair tonight, doing a great job. And we got Maverick and Goose upstairs shooting the action, and we got Merlin running the board there over there with Seth. Guys, we do appreciate you guys, and we appreciate you for watching. We'll be back next week live at 6:30 Friday night right here from Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. The Bulldogs victorious tonight, 19-17. Have a good night, everybody.